This is weird. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your hats. We are live, and we did it without an intro because people have been giving us communications about the intro. So we dropped a link over there in the chat. If you would like to join the stream, please feel free to do so. We're going to hang out tonight. We're going to make some QSOs. We're going to make a mess. We're going to talk about absolutely nothing in particular because we're all suffering from a food coma. And it's been a fantastic Thanksgiving.
Did you have all your crew? Did you have all your crew at your house?
No, it's actually interesting. I have a daughter that is out of the country. I have a daughter that is out of the state. I have another daughter that's out of the state. I have a daughter that's down the street, and I have a daughter that lives with me. That's five daughters if you're counting. And so we went to daughter that lives down the street's house for Thanksgiving and brought daughter that lives with us to daughter that lives down the street's house. But the daughters that are out of state, out of country couldn't attend for obvious reasons.
Yeah, mine is my one is out of state. She's up visiting her people in Massachusetts.
They're easier to love when they're farther away.
She's adorable, especially when she's not, irritating me.
Right. Very hard for her to irritate you right now.
Right.
So I am currently playing on 20-meter FT8 for no apparent reason whatsoever. Let me show you what that looks like. But if you'd like to join me on 20-meter FT8, feel free. I'm in the middle of a QSO with N4. Nope, I'm no longer in the middle of a QSO. I've got to jump onto this KK6BB as soon as I RR73. I don't know where my energy came from. I was asleep before the show.
We just finished eating.
Oh, so you got like 15 minutes, then it's going to sink in for you.
Right.
Jim's going to be narcoleptic.
I'm doing this, and then there's pie later. So,
Pie. What kind of pie?
Lemon meringue.
Excellent. Yeah. I've never had a lemon meringue pie. I think I made one once.
What?
There was a time in my life when lemons gave me headaches. And so I avoided lemons like the plague.
Okay. I avoid mayonnaise like the plague.
Yes, Dave. Pie. P-I. 3.14159. Close
Dusty
enough.
likes pecan. I can eat pecan. It's okay. If I'm starving, I'd eat it. I'm a key lime aficionado if I had my choice.
I'm sporting the Kenwood TS570D and a DX Commander, and I'm putting out slightly more than 100 watts tonight.
So is that the radio you were talking about on your stream that you checked on eBay?
Yeah, that's the one I checked on eBay earlier today. I actually got this at a silent key sale, and I've been talking about this radio for the last 2 or 3 years that I've had it.
You had mentioned it.
Yeah, and it's been fantastic. The internal battery is dead, so I'll have a video on changing out the internal battery. So every time I turn it on, it's like, "Hi, who are you?" And doesn't remember what frequency you were on, doesn't remember any of its settings, doesn't remember that every time I change a setting, I don't want it to beep at me because it's got this stupid beep setting. But it has 2 antenna ports, so I can do that whole switch over one antenna to the other and see who sounds better. And it's been fantastic. So I'm going to do some more videos on it, and then I don't know what its future looks like, but it's 15 pounds, so that makes it hard to be a giveaway.
That's a honker. That's probably almost as much as the 7610 because it's got to be close.
Did you see the part in the video where they have a belt clip for it? Kenwood makes a belt clip for this radio.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, TC fits.
Ooh, TC, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, TC Fitz. Happy Thanksgiving to you as well.
Let me cue that up. Let me find it.
Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum.
Key lime is the best pie of all pies ever.
Awesome. I need some milk with that pie, Jim. I don't know about you.
He needs some milk.
Who do we have with us? Who's going to join us on the stream? Let me go back to the top here. I already said hi to a couple of you. Don, N5SKT is here. Ron, N8WCR, K8MRD. I sent Mike a link, but Mike's snoozing on the bourbon right now. 45 Auto, welcome. I gotta scroll down because you guys are all talking a lot here. Other Andy, welcome, Andy. Happy Thanksgiving again. I said happy Thanksgiving to you earlier once today.
Wow.
Wow, what? 45 pounds.
Holy crap.
Andy Cowley, the one and only, the legend.
The legend. Oh,
The
Stevie
legend.
Ray is here.
Yeah, Wild Cascadia Radio. I haven't seen you put out a video in a while. Just saying. Dusty from ZL Land, New Zealand.
Right. Oh, Mike said he'll be here in a minute.
Paul Griffith, fantastic.
He's probably pounding coffee right now.
Yeah, gotta wake up, gotta wake up, gotta wake up. These guys want me to perform, gotta wake up. John, K7NWA, welcome. Lindsay Hicks, haven't seen you in a while, Lindsay. Fantastic to see you. How the oil field's doing these days? What do we have? We have Keith Herzog. XYL made killer pecan pie. Nice. Am I using 2 antenna on the Kenwood? I am not. I really don't have a good excuse for it other than I'm lazy.
That's a good reason. Thank
you very much, Dave. Good video on eBay buying. I buy a lot of stuff on eBay. I sell a lot of stuff on eBay. And, gotta know how to price stuff in the market because it's really interesting. Like a Raspberry Pi Zero 2W, people complain this thing is a $15 computer from the manufacturer, but real world conditions have pushed this thing up to $110. So, I bought my ICOM 7300 for $900 brand new, and I can sell it for more than I paid for it today. So that's pretty tempting to move that thing along to a new home and bring in. I'm thinking about it's a toss up between the FTDX10 and the FT710 AESS. So hey, I'll take that hug and I'll give you one right back. Let me enable TX again here.
So interesting comments about the Pi. So I saw a video the other day, I guess at the beginning of the week or maybe late last week. And, Anthony's got the flu at his house.
Oh, that was you, Ron? Feel better, Anthony?
Hate that, brother. I hate that.
Fantastic, Ron.
I saw somebody do a video, and he pointed out that you could get, and he had 3 or 4 different kind of machines listed on his video. Man, I wish I could remember who did the video. But one of them was a Lenovo ThinkCentre Mini.
Yeah.
Or ThinkCentre Business M72. I got a refurb off of Amazon for $107.
Oh, nice.
It's an i3 3220 with a 500 gig SSD and 8 gigs of memory.
Yeah, and that's not a laptop.
Well, I mean, it's tiny. I mean, it's like maybe 10 by 10. And
it's like the front desk receptionist computer.
Oh yeah, it's great. So I've got it, and it came with Windows 10 pre-installed, and I'm going to keep Windows on there. I'm going to set it up to dual boot. But I'm like, because it's probably going to be the new Toad's digital machine, and I'm going to keep Windows on it too, just in case I need to change it out with something. But
need to write a code plug,
right? I mean, it's $107. It's got a hard, and they sent me a random generic mouse and keyboard with it, but it's better than a Pi. It's an i3 3220. Come on. I mean, that's not current technology, but
other Andy's asking all weekend. Is he talking to you about this ThinkCentre deal?
I don't know. It wasn't.
Other Andy, we're gonna need some more details.
Yeah, I need some deets, brother. It was not a deal, and I'll see if I can.
It was not a Black Friday deal. It was a deal.
No, it's on Amazon, and I'll find it. Is this better? My audio is lower than Steve's. It's because Steve's a loud talker.
I am. I'm excited. It's been a while since I've seen you guys. It's fantastic to be here. We talk about, thanks and gratitude and all that jazz. And I am really grateful. Yeah. And, I don't want to shed a tear or nothing on live TV or anything, but I'm really grateful that you guys are all here and you guys enjoy the things that we do. And it makes it worth making the show and putting stuff on. And Mike is here. K8MRD. How you doing, Mike?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. You're looking happy too.
I have had a couple whiskeys.
Excellent.
That will do it.
Frank sent me a couple cigars, and I just got those in the mail yesterday. I had some Thanksgiving plans today. They were canceled, unfortunately, so I've just been sitting here by myself. So I went outside a few hours ago with the 7300 and just started doing some FT8 and had a good cigar and some whiskey.
less than a fifth.
So,
Couple of fingers.
way less than a fifth. I had a couple, but now I'm
Couple
on
of fingers.
now I'm on some beer, so gotta ration ourselves.
Happy Thanksgiving, Mike.
Happy Thanksgiving, Mike.
everyone. So yes, and I have the no, we can't do that. There it is. Look at that.
Oh, grid tracker. Let's get you soloed. What's that look like?
Yeah. So we just got a little setup here, doing some FT8. I just put this all into OBS. So
you're on 60 meters. What are you on?
I don't really know. I was just actually setting it up. No, I'm on 40. I saw
right,
you were spotting on. You were spotted on 20, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it. The FT8's been a little weak tonight, even though all of this down here in the waterfall, like everybody's there, but I've made quite a few contacts, but all stateside, a couple Canada. There was some island in the Pacific that I heard once. It was like Tango 33 Tango.
Yeah, Teet's been really popular. Yep.
Okay.
So I actually have that grid in my grid tracker. This one isn't the most updated one, but I think that's not it. I don't know where they are, but they're somewhere out here in the middle of the Pacific. But my $60 computer is the more up to date.
Oh shit!
Grid.
Is that the crap top?
Hold on.
Well, I'm on my Mac right now.
No. I mean your $60. That's the crap top you're talking about.
I don't refer to it as a crap top. No,
son, I think it's a nice little computer.
Oh, it's a fantastic deal.
You can't beat it.
Great.
Well, you can beat it, but it costs a lot more to beat it. So
I had to stop sharing my screen because I'm making a contact with the Smoking Ape right now.
So Nebraska
Kevin
is on the air.
Yeah. Kevin, welcome.
Hi, Kevin.
Well, how you doing?
Your hair's not a mess. You look fine, Kevin.
he must have combed his hair.
When I say hair, I mean like you ever look at yourself in one of these and go, man.
No. Yeah. Every day. Every single day.
Yeah, but it doesn't get any better. So I just the hell with
Just
it.
roll with it. Just go.
Right.
Like, man, when did I?
And in a lot of ways, I'm jealous of Mike because he doesn't have to worry about what his hair looks like. I got to go spend money on haircuts every so often.
You know what I have to worry about? This camera right here and how shiny it is on my head.
Shiny.
That's camera quality, though, man. So what is that? That's a Logitech webcam.
It's the Logitech Stream Cam.
Yeah,
and then what's your
thing's a
primary
flaming
camera?
piece of junk.
So this one right here is a Logitech C920.
All right.
But this one is the Stream Cam.
Woo!
Yeah. I'm not even blurry now. There we are.
So Jim and I are rocking this product called Camo Studio.
You need to mute your browser tab, Kevin.
Hello.
Give us a thumbs up when you got it. But this Camo Studio allows me to use my phone. I'm using an Android.
Yep.
Jim's using an iPhone.
Android.
As a webcam.
No, I'm using
So
Android.
This is my Samsung Galaxy S21. You can see the teeth marks from my daughter's dog.
This is
But
the
it does
wife's
that
old
cool
Note 9.
autofocus.
I bought her a 22 Ultra and I took her Note 9 for webcam service.
Oh, good, Kevin.
But I use an iPhone for a lot of my secondary and tertiary cameras.
Yep.
And I mean, my main camera, every video you've seen of me is filmed on an iPhone.
Camo works with an iPhone as well, and it works well. I just got this.
Camo, so it's an app that allows your phone to be used as a webcam.
Yep.
Okay, I might have to look because I use one
It's
called.
free.
It's free.
It's better if you pay a few bucks.
I use one called Epoch Cam.
Yeah.
EPOC. That thing sucks.
Yes.
It's
yes,
terrible.
It does.
So I've gone back. I actually just got a bunch of webcams from Amazon. They all sucked. So I'm back to using my iPhones but I've at least got something that'll hold my phone as an overhead, like right here, literally where my hand is, pointing down at the mat. Because I'm going to start doing some live builds next week.
Excellent.
Well, it may or may not be, but
so it doesn't work. It's okay if it doesn't work though. And so also there's one so Camo Studio works on Windows and Mac OS, which I know you're Mac OS.
Yep.
And this is Mac OS that I'm running this through right now. And then there's
Ditto.
one for Linux called I don't know how to pronounce it. It's IRIUN, iRiun. But when I
Sure.
see it, my eyes go iRuin. I'm like, I don't want to click this icon. I don't want to ruin anything.
It's a virus.
It is, yeah.
XSplit. There's several apps that'll do it. Camo works with iOS and Android. It works on Windows and Mac. The free version is what this cheap guy is using, and then I paid for it. So I have it on a Mac Pro here, and then I have it on Windows out in my shop, and Windows on the Windows computer behind me. So, and I'm using, this is permanently a Note 9, and then I use my iPhone for the other stuff.
It'd be hard to make it.
I think probably the better upgrade I need, if I'm going to start doing, and Tuesday is going to be the real test. I finally, so if anybody watched my stream this Tuesday, I'm starting this Technicians Tuesday thing where we get on 10 meters and just make some sideband contacts. Well, I've routed the audio from the radio into my mixer and into the stream, so we don't have to hear the audio being picked up by the microphone anymore. So it's like literally, I just ordered a DVI cable, so we should be able to capture the screen of the 7610 instead of like pointing my phone at it to capture the screen recording. So literally everything should be like 800,000 times better this Tuesday on the live stream. But I've also got I think the more important thing is I need to start paying, and this is hard for me because I'm a ham and I'm cheap. Start paying for StreamYard, because it only streams in like 720 with the free version.
It does,
that's a huge. And I only shoot in 1080, but I do 1080 60. But like for these like build videos, so I have this little AM FM radio kit that I'm gonna build. It's like 50. T-Ray, what's up, buddy? yeah. I'm holding your 7610 hostage still, man. Come on down. There's not a shotgun in that closet at all.
Now you know where it's not.
It's not there.
Hey, Tim?
But then I've got, so someone just sent me, oh gosh, his name's John. He hit me up in the Discord. There's a little microphone kit for the G90 that he sent me. That's a bunch. It's like,
Jonathan.
It's all surface mount components. So I've got to have a good camera or something good to, because I want to live stream that too. I think that'll be a fun build. Or just fun to watch me fail it.
Kevin, you got to mute the only thing you should be listening to is StreamYard if you've got a YouTube webcam left. You got to mute your other browser tabs and just listen to StreamYard. Otherwise, we get a horrible echo. And unfortunately, there's technical problems, and Don is not going to be able to join us from the Don Cave.
Look at this. Someone's blowing up my... It's all K04 PDI. Should I come back to him, you think? Let's go back to him.
Roger McKeon, welcome. Good evening.
Roger.
Tim Stat, Mad Swimbaiter. Lord, we got a lot of people in chat tonight. Clay, I don't know this question. Mike, do you know, or Don? I mean, most people use a Pi for that sort of stuff, right?
I'm not the guy to talk about APRS at all.
I want to build one. It's on my to-do list in the next month, but I haven't done it.
I now have a Yaesu FT5DR that does APRS, but I do not know any. The only thing I know about APRS is the letters for APRS are A, P, R, and S.
That is, you are well on your way, Mike. Yeah. Well on your way. I've done a bunch of radio review videos, and then guys will always put in the chat, you didn't talk about the APRS features. That was the part where I said I don't do APRS, so...
Any HD you ever review, someone's going to be like, does it do APRS?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, did I say anything about APR? If it did APRS, do you not think I would mention that?
This is a Baofeng UV5R. What is the APRS capabilities? None.
This is the Radioddity. Where camera am I on? This is the Radioddity GD-AT10 XYZ, whatever, however many letters and numbers they put. It does APRS, but it does APRS on 440, which is completely useless. So,
And,
but I
and
can
no
mention it.
people, the ICOM 52A and no ICOM radio does APRS.
Don's here. Hey, Don.
Yeah.
DPRS,
They do
that's not-
DPRS, right?
Yeah.
That is not the same thing. And
Never have I ever
because the
heard
fact-
anybody ask, does it do DPRS?
No, right. I'm with you on
No.
that one.
That is not something.
But
people
but
Don,
ask.
Ray,
all right, so
but
you've-
Ray will defend it to his death. I cannot stand that.
Well, that's his
What's the
job.
difference? If you're going to bitch
Huh?
about it, you got to explain what the difference is.
DPRS
One people
DPRS
use, one people
stems-
don't use.
Yeah.
Right.
The DPRS packets have to travel over D-Star, is the way I understand it. And by the way, there's two different versions of DPRS. One of them is the ICOM version, which goes over D-Star, and the other one is the one that the Anytones have that goes over DMR. Neither of those is APRS. If you want APRS, you get a Kenwood or you get a Yaesu radio. There. That's what I
There you
know.
go.
Now
Yeah.
doing a weather station, I believe, yeah, you're right, Jim, that you would get some kind of a pie or something like that.
Well, I've just listen. My knowledge comes from Googling, so
Mhm.
take this with a grain of salt. I saw several different documents or websites that were talking about doing it, and they were all doing it with like a Pi 3 or something. And a lot of them were doing it with a Fang as the radio piece, which I thought was
so-
kind of interesting.
I'm thinking Nuggets episode.
For DPRS?
No, APRS. No, APRS weather station.
Yeah. Was that you that asked that question at first, or was somebody else asking that question?
No,
No,
somebody
somebody
else
else
was
did.
asking it.
Okay.
No, I asked Don to explain the difference between APRS and DPRS.
One sucks, the other one doesn't. Hey.
Hey, Kevin.
There's many ways to answer that question. Actually, there's two.
Yeah. yeah.
Kevin, you just got to jump in and say something.
Yeah, Hey, Kevin, how are you? Unmute. Well, we'll keep talking. Just jump in.
Okay.
This is a Ragchew,
Well,
and we have 5 people
I
on the
spent-
screen. We should have 12 opinions.
I spent my day
Easily.
today remoting the Flex radio.
Nice.
So now the Flex radio is safely installed at my sister's house and working.
That's pretty
Nice.
cool.
So that frees up an operating position, Don. What radio are you getting?
No, it
Told
doesn't
you.
actually. I
Told you.
haven't. If you've been watching, when I get on stream, the Flex radio has been sitting right there for like about 6 months or more. Because there's the FTDX10, and here's the Anon, and the Sun SDR is now sitting right over there. But by the way, Tio, I don't know if I ever posted this picture.
Oh, ham clock.
Well, yeah,
And
but
the
I mean,
DX10.
This is that stand that you were talking about. I still have one more monitor position up there,
Damn, I need some.
Oh.
but
Yeah.
I mean that is yeah. Well, I mean, Tio showed it on his stream or
I did.
one of his deals. I mean, I jumped on it. In fact, I've
Yeah,
got
it's like
two of
it's
them
like
now.
$40, $50 for a 4-way monitor stand.
Yeah,
What did you? Is that
yeah. And I
what
got
radio is that you're showing on there, Don? What did you say that was?
FTDX10.
The 10.
Where
Are you
there,
using an
that's the
HDMI to DVI adapter in
No.
defiance of Yaesu?
Oh, you're talking about that? Yeah, that's the 101.
Tio
No,
Cron, that's right.
That's look how old that monitor is. That's
Oh,
that's
so
an old
that's-
Samsung. That's
So that's a
DVI.
DVI
direct.
cable. Okay.
Yeah,
Like
The
it
other
should
two
be.
are HDMI.
Show
Yeah.
us your screen with your radio on it again, Don.
This one.
Don's making everybody at home dizzy.
Don's
Yeah.
making me
I'm sure
dizzy.
Nice.
I apologize.
That's
when
baked
when
into
get
the
my
DX10.
DVI cable on Monday,
I'm hot.
Yeah.
it's gonna have
Okay, I'll turn
76
it down,
on it.
folks. I'll turn it down.
There's
I'm
no
sorry, I
there's
got
no
that.
signals on your screen. What gives?
Yeah, there are. They're just they're like
Oh
right.
yeah,
Way,
that Yaesu
way
reset
down
is
at the
pretty
bottom.
weak.
Yeah. There's a way I can turn that up. I haven't turned it up.
Is that the DX? That's the DX10, right?
It's a 101.
Oh, it's the 101.
The DX10.
101.
The DX10 is in my car. It's my permanent POTA
Oh,
radio. Or
nice.
it's not permanent, but that's the one
But
I've
you
got
keep
the
it to have for
ATAS
that.
on.
You keep
That-
it in.
that's
Yeah,
the
you
one
just
I've
got
got
the
the,
ATAS.
Yeah, I've got the ATAS on the FTDX10.
Dude, I'm
And by
so-
the way, I got a problem with it. I wanted to ask you about, Mike.
Okay, because I mean I've had the ATAS for 2 weeks, so I'm definitely
Expert.
qualified as an expert now. What do you got?
Well, so I tuned 17 meters, and
Mhm.
what it did was it went all the way to the top, and then it went all the way down. And it's got the display on it. I was watching the SWR on it, and it came down and it came into tune, and then it promptly went straight on down all the way to the bottom,
Yeah.
and it hasn't moved since.
So
And somebody said, "Yeah, it's an issue, but
the
it's
way
fixable."
the way it has been explained to me, and I
Mhm.
said this in my review video, from a Yaesu representative at a ham fest. We spoke in great
Mhm.
length about this issue. The
Okay.
ATAS is not the smartest antenna, so it doesn't know where it is. So, like, for example, on my Tar Heel, I have that control,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah.
counts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and like, so, like, for example, say like number 40 is
Mhm.
in the ballpark where 20 meters would be, and then you go up to like 89 or 90, something like that is where 40 meters is, right? It counts the turns. The ATAS doesn't count the turns, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
know where it is. So sometimes it needs to just reset itself, or
So it has to home every time you tune.
one of the guys at it might have been Martin Lynch and Son did a video on it, and he said it. The English have a better way with their language than we do here in America, but it needs to, right. He basically
Mhm.
said it needs to initialize, I think was the word that he used. But basically, the Yaesu kind of just needs to freak out for like a solid minute. So if you just hit the tune button, it looks like nothing's
Mhm.
happening. And it happens to me. It's gone all the way up, all the way down. Like, it just freaks out. It doesn't know where it is, but it's finding itself in that time. So just keep the tune button. Just push the tune button. Let it do its thing. Eventually, it will find its way. Once I knew that,
Okay.
after the ham fest that I learned that, I've never had a problem with the ATAS because I knew that's what it did. When I got the ATAS, Sideboom gave me his ATAS to borrow. Sideboom just got down, by the way. Thank you. He's not here.
He
In like
ain't here.
January or February of this year. I've had it for that long, and I had it for like 4 or 5 months. And I played with it a little bit, but I couldn't get it to tune. It would tune like once, and then I would come back, and it would be different. FT8 is killing texting. JS8 call is killing texting. But once the
DPRS.
UC rep was like, no, you need to let it just go through its cycle. And nothing's grounded at all on my car. Everyone's like, with the Tar Heel and the ATAS, you're like, everyone's like, you have to ground it real well and you have to bond it. Yes, that helps for reception and lowering the noise. From what I'm told, not my experience, but from like a tuning standpoint, I just like you did, Don. You said you just chiseled away a bit of the paint under where the mount goes. That's all I did, and it works like a charm. You just got to be patient with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just dumb.
Okay. I'll do that because
I mean, if not fixing after that, then something's messed up. But what you're describing
it went down to the bottom and it just sits there. But yeah, I can see that it's tried to rehome.
But if
And
the
was
tune
saying,
button is
yeah,
still
mine
on,
did that.
if you let it just sit there long
Yeah.
enough, it should go back to where it's trying to tune. Should.
Look at this waterfall on 40 meters. This
But
is
you guys
this is
averaging
Thanksgiving Day.
5.
Yeah, this is
Everybody's tired of
Thanksgiving.
their
A lot of
families.
people- Yeah, that's what happens. Really, and then they don't want to interrupt the football game and all that, so they go to FT8 because they can turn the volume off.
Oh, hey, does anybody know if the Detroit Lions lost again today?
Were they playing Dallas? It's
Yes.
probably a crap
I have
shoot.
no idea. The Detroit Lions play every Thanksgiving, and they always lose.
I know they.
Hey,
the
K6YYL,
only thing I saw
welcome.
was they scored first.
What's that, Don?
The only thing I know is if they were playing Dallas, they scored first, so they got the first 3 points of the game. But
Is that L2TI?
that's all I saw because. Yeah, all I did was I watched a couple of minutes while I was trying to get my cables together, and then I went back and kept working on the radio. So
yeah, do not
And
care
I'm
about
sorry.
football at all. I hate football.
no,
But it's so
Can't
funny
stand
watching the Lions lose. So cool, they lost again. Awesome, thanks guys. Did the Lions play Dallas?
they were supposed to.
Well, I mean,
I
they
think
really
that's
did.
the
Well,
regular game, isn't it? Is Dallas and the Lions? Maybe I'm
Somebody-
confused. I haven't watched pro
somebody-
football in forever. I watched college ball, and that's about it.
There you go,
I
Mike.
don't care.
Well, my
I saw that.
My mom and
Cascadia
dad
knows what
used to
Alice's
love-
restaurant. I posted Alice's restaurant
Yeah.
last night.
Dallas
saw it,
played the
everybody knew.
Giants and won
Lions
today.
played Buffalo. All right.
And the
I didn't- I know.
the Lions lost to Buffalo.
Hmm.
So there you go.
What is Charlie Barron's? Go Packers, F the Bears, right?
Yeah, Charlie Barons is the guy from my neighborhood.
I love him. He's awesome.
Go Packers and F the Bears. Yeah.
And the fibs. F in
That's
Andreas
Illinois
Spice.
thing. Spice or spies or spies?
Spies. The Swiss guy with the funny hat.
The steampunk hat. What's up, Jason?
Yeah. Jason.
Yo.
Oh, what up, buddy?
Jason.
Yeah, Don, you recognize me. I live like 2 miles that way from you.
Mhm.
More than 2, but still.
Is it?
Hey, over
Are you? You're between me and Frank, right?
Sort of. Yeah, I'm just north
Well,
of Frank.
well, then I appreciate you standing in between us. Then.
right.
Is that what you appreciate about
I
him?
get that. I get that a lot, actually.
John, you live between Jason and Frank?
No, I
No.
live between Frank and Don.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Don
Frank,
lives north of you?
Frank works like right across the bridge from me.
Yeah. Yeah. He works like 5 minutes from the HRO out there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and I do too, but I don't go into work, so well, I mean, I work from home. They
Right. Yeah. No, I understand what you mean. Yeah. Frank
Yeah.
wishes he worked from home. But
Jim wishes he
There's
worked
no
from
wishing.
home too.
Make it happen.
yeah, that's right.
Jim's IT security thing.
Mhm.
No,
My
I
job is to
I
keep
want
people
you-
from
I want you
surfing
to-
Facebook and porn, so I make sure the firewall allows me to make
There
sure
we
of
go.
that.
Mm.
Welcome back, Kevin.
Well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody anyway.
Kevin says he was a
Happy
fib.
Thanksgiving.
Let's
I'm not
see.
making
I
any
was
contacts now.
Are you on
NK0V tried to get me, but I don't think that happened.
HK. I would say probably any Neil Young song, period, is the worst song ever made, regardless of what it is.
That's
But
messed up,
Alice has
man.
got to be close.
That's messed up.
Neil
Hate
Any
Yeah.
Neil Young song is the worst song ever made.
I
Neil
can't
Young was
stand
that-
Young.
Young was that guy who threatened to leave Spotify a couple years ago.
Oh,
Yes.
No, he didn't threaten. He did.
Well,
He
yeah,
He
yeah.
was
Until
just
he
on
got
Howard
broke.
Stern
Wow.
again just the other day. They were
Was
talking
he?
about
Okay,
it.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
because the audio quality sucks.
No, it wasn't that. It was because of something. It was because of Joe
it's
Rogan.
totally because of
Rogan.
the
It
audio
was because of
quality.
Joe
Yeah,
Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
No.
It was because of Joe Rogan, because Joe Rogan has the audacity to exercise his First Amendment rights.
Yeah,
And Neil Young
was
didn't like
that.
officially
And I
butthurt.
loved the meme I saw about that because people were like, it said, the meme said, people under 35. Who is Neil Young? People between
Right.
35 and 75. Neil Young is still alive. People over 75.
Well, I was
What-
trying to
what's
promote Arlo
Spotify?
Guthrie. So,
So it was a funny thing back then.
Mhm.
what are you drinking? A White Russian?
Mhm.
Oh, I know it
Prince.
wasn't or wasn't Neil Young that did that song. That song
Really
sucks
brings the
too.
stream together.
I just hate Neil Young.
Oh, hang on. Alice's restaurant does not suck.
It sucks.
I don't
Arlo
know.
Guthrie. It's Arlo Guthrie. $2. Thank you very much, David.
We're gonna
Fantastic.
throw down in fisticuffs
Jim,
here,
hit it.
Jim.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was about to go fisticuffs with M8R. Oh, Jesus. Hang on. Too many buttons.
Came.
Jason, you don't have to protest.
I'm not protesting. I just didn't dance.
Those were your dance moves.
Yeah,
Jason, in his head, Jason was throwing down the dance moves.
in my head.
Pugilism.
Right.
So can I make a quick announcement?
I hope you do.
Sure.
My beer's empty. Should I get another one first?
Yeah, go for it. You'll probably like part of this, Mike, although I don't imagine you'll participate in the first part.
Well, not with that kind of attitude.
So those of you who saw my stream on Wednesday, Callum did a special deal for 20 people. He had 20 DX Commander repeat antennas.
Ooh,
He gave
awesome.
a 40-pound discount to. And we sold like of them during the stream, but people who watched my a replay of my stream the rest of that day, by like 6 or 7 p.m. that night, all of them were sold. And he, for some reason, he thought that was, he was like, wow, I can't believe it. I'm like, really? It's only 20 antennas.
Really, dude?
Yeah.
So, but okay, so we're doing it again tomorrow. He's going to put the classic on sale.
Oh, nice.
Classic on sale tomorrow.
Oh,
If I didn't have two already, I'd get another one.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, get one and do a giveaway, dude. Because it's, I believe it's still a 40-pound. I think it's still a 40-pound discount. Don't quote me on that. I've got the link. He's recorded a video again, so I'll be announcing that on my shopping video that I post tomorrow morning. So, yeah. Clay says, "Is Jason quitting ham radio YouTube to go make an RV life YouTube?" No. I'm going to do both.
Does both.
I'm going to do
No,
both.
do both. That's what I'm doing. Yeah.
Right,
what radio are you going to put in the RV?
991A.
No. I think that I probably will not. I want to put a VHF, UHF radio in there mounted permanently, but I don't think I'm going to put an HF in there mounted permanently yet. I carry my FTDX10 in a Pelican case with me in the backseat of my truck pretty much everywhere I go anyway.
Yep.
So whether I'm with the RV or not, I have it with me. So that's kind of a thing. The second announcement.
Wouldn't do that either.
Yeah. The second announcement was Ham Radio Happy Hour tomorrow night for Black Friday. All of you are invited.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's invited. So
We'll be there. Otherwise, I have to talk to my wife. So
I don't know if that's good or bad, but you do you.
she still tolerates me after 30 years. So there's that.
Hey, my wife's.
That's speaking a lot.
My wife and I
really.
will almost be 21 years in January. So I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
Jim, you're starting to get on my last nerve, and I haven't even known you for as long as your wife has.
Awesome. You
like
be
a
nice,
dick,
or I'll
man.
tell people what happened in that cabin at Huntsville, man.
We weren't doing
I
anything
got
that couldn't have
pictures.
been interrupted.
Ouch. I don't want to know. I honestly swear to God, do not want to know about that.
You were invited.
I know. That's why I didn't show up.
Do you have a classic, Mike?
This is the classic.
I was going to say
okay.
Mike's got at least one classic.
I
if not a
can't. I
couple.
can't tell.
I've got
It doesn't fit in
a.
the camera.
No, it
It's
doesn't.
so big.
I know. That's what she said.
Not to
Yeah,
you.
you definitely. No, not to me. Of course.
That's just what she said, not to Mike.
To the DX commander, she said that.
Right.
right.
She's like,
Callum's got a nice bowl.
is that 10 meters? I was like,
Welcome to Cafe Noir, folks.
It's amazing what you can do if it's not your YouTube channel. I love it.
Yeah.
Right.
come on.
And so, not to bring up a sore subject, Jason, but have you heard anything on your RV?
Okay. So I'm going to make a very detailed video about all this. So
Okay.
Forest River got involved, the manufacturer, not the retailer,
Mhm.
and they claim my RV's fixed. And they said, "Do you want to come get it, or we can transport it to you?" And I said, "Well, it's going to be 2 or 3 weeks before I can come get it." And they're like, "Fine, we can transport it to you, no cost to me." So they picked it up Tuesday night at 5 p.m. The transport guy, third party guy, picked it up 5 p.m. In Huntsville, Alabama at 5 p.m. Tuesday night. and they said, expect to hear something on Wednesday. I'm like, okay. Well, Wednesday evening, he calls me and he said, dude, it was like 6:30 p.m. Wednesday evening. And he's like, my credit card just got funded. They just now paid me. He's a third-party guy. Doesn't have anything to do with Forest River or the place at all. He's like, they just now paid me. I'm 400 miles away. I know tomorrow's Thanksgiving, but I'll be at this truck stop up in Denton, or I can deliver it to you on Friday. I'm like, dude, I'm busy on Thanksgiving. I can't come get it. I'm like, just wait and bring it this weekend. I'm not even in a hurry.
Yeah, I'm in no hurry. Yeah.
So fingers crossed, he will be delivering it to me tomorrow morning here close to my home. And,
That's
I mean,
crazy it took that long.
He's going to be delivering it, and hopefully it's fixed. So
what I knew
the owner of that McElroy's place that we stopped at, Mike, when we dropped it off, the owner called me on Monday, and I've left several messages for him.
Was it the first time he called you in the last 3 months?
Yes.
Wow.
And I've left several messages for him, and he's like, hey. And he thought it was a trailer I had dropped off there because I was passing through town. I'm like, dude, I bought it from you. He's like,
wash the sheets.
You bought it here? I was like, yeah. I bought it there. And he didn't know that. They have
no idea what's going on.
Yeah, they have no idea what's
That's
going on.
terrible.
Yeah.
Jeez. What happened? I knew it was broken, but what happened? I never heard that part of the story.
All right, so the latest, well, there were several things. There was more than one thing. The latest thing, and Mike was there for this, so he can attest to this. Mike and Frank were both there. We were driving to Huntsville Hamfest last August, and we pull off. Who has got feedback going on right now?
Don.
I do.
Okay, somebody does.
Weird.
I keep
You
hearing
doing
feedback.
FT8, Don?
No.
All right, somebody's got feedback going. So we're driving to Huntsville Hamfest last August, and we pull off to the interstate or the highway, wherever we were, to get fuel, and we pull into this gas station, and these two bikers are there, and I had seen them pass me on the highway, and they came up to me and they're like, hey man, just FYI, you got pieces falling out from underneath your trailer when you're driving down the road. So I get up underneath there, and there's this covering on the bottom that covers the bottom, kind of like not ground effects, but just kind of like a covering of the bottom of the trailer that kind of closes it in, and there's a piece missing, and there's a piece buckled towards the back axle. And I'm like, well, that ain't good. So
these are big pieces too.
Right. So it was like, man, I'm glad that nobody died from me driving my 5-month-old brand new trailer down the road, and it just literally falling apart as I went 70 miles an hour down the highway. Because there would be lawsuits in hand, and I guarantee they wouldn't be directed towards me at that point in time. So, I don't know. But that's the latest problem. Like literally, it just I bought it in March. I took it back to them in August, so I had it for 5 months. I took it on 4 or 5 trips, and every time I took it somewhere, something else broke. So.
That's the one you had at Dayton?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the one I had at Dayton. Correct. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, without all the problems, it's been a fairly decent trailer. But yeah, and all of the problems have been fairly minor, with the exception of it literally throwing pieces off of the trailer going 70 miles an hour down the highway. Man, but yeah, I mean, it's freaking crazy.
Well, also when we were leaving the Grand Canyon, we discovered that you can't really have it on the jacks, because that twisted the body enough to where the side wouldn't go in. So
well, and that campsite wasn't level either. It was a little bit skewed.
Wonky.
Yeah.
But our dumbasses are trying to like lean on it and push.
Right. Yeah. I see Anime's in the house. I haven't seen her in forever. I guess she doesn't
it's been a minute.
Doesn't like me anymore. She didn't watch my streams anymore.
She hadn't been on our streams lately. Yeah, I hadn't seen her in a couple months.
Well, happy Thanksgiving, Anime.
Yes. To the whole state of Oregon.
Right. HK wants to know if you got it from the gypsies.
I probably would have been better off doing.
They're called pikeys.
It's funny. If you go to Forest River's website, they have 37, 48 brands of RVs that they make.
Oh yeah, they have bought
crazy.
it. Yeah, Forest River owns almost everyone these days.
It's crazy.
Mine's actually a Salem FS. It's Salem. The company is Salem, but it's now owned by Forest River.
River.
Yeah,
mine's a Rockwood, which is owned by Forest River.
Yeah, Rockwood's owned by them as well. So yeah. Yeah, so it's not actually Forest River. But
It's hard to
is.
buy one though, because there's like 6 different brand names that all make the exact same model with ever so slightly different features.
I if I had to do it again, I would probably get a Jayco. I read
Yeah.
and watch. I watch YouTube videos and I read very good reviews about that brand.
Wasn't that your old one? What was your old one?
My old one was a Dutchman.
Okay.
Which I actually still have the old one. That's the one I've been using at the
Hey, Hawk's here. He says he's got a Jayco.
Hank.
I know. It's not funny if I call him Hank though.
Iowa.
I laugh every time you comment on a video, Hawk.
Yeah. Did you
Guess
see
it's
what
no
I
worse calling Morton a Swede all the time? So whatever.
did you see what I was doing, Jason?
Mm-mm.
No, I'm building out the van as a camper.
I didn't see. No, where are you sharing the pictures of that?
Just don't wear bikinis.
I've dropped them in a couple of streams, and that's what I don't remember if I dropped any on.
You put it on Jason's Discord a couple of days
I
ago.
was
That's
gonna
where I
say,
first saw it.
Yeah, put.
He's got a
Okay.
I might have missed it on the Discord. Yeah, put it in the morning a cup of coffee channel on my Discord.
Yeah.
channel.
he's got a
Basically,
big
what
geek
I'm doing
for
is
the
what's
bed now.
called a no-build minivan conversion. So you don't have to build anything; you're just adding parts to it.
Ah,
And I found out like my my seat in the second seat will actually push all the way directly behind the first seat, and so I can put a cot in there without taking anything out,
oh,
and it still leaves the other captain's chair up. And then I've got the 50-foot mast in there, and I've taken out all my ham sticks, and that's why I got the
Plenty of room for a cot.
ATAS. Yeah.
I
The cot fits perfectly.
I want to do a van conversion. I would like to build my own van because I enjoy doing that sort of thing.
Mhm.
But I might end up just purchasing one. But I got to sell at least one, if not both, of my RVs before I do that.
You know, you could take that truck that's in your garage and fix it up.
Mhm.
Put a what do they call them? Those tonneau cover things on the back, and
Mhm.
kind of do that. That'd be pretty sweet.
That's not what a tonneau cover is.
Tonneau cover. Just
Whatever.
covers the
I don't.
bed.
I don't.
It's just
speak
a
truck,
canvas
okay?
over the bed.
Whatever
Mike, you're in
the thing
Texas
is.
now. We're gonna have to clip a corner of your Texas card.
Right.
I did not get a truck
Mhm.
when I moved to
Yet.
Texas like I
Yet.
thought I would.
Yet
I thought you
it's in the mail.
I thought you
We
just
give-
traded in your car when you got your Texas driver's
No,
license
no.
and they gave you a truck.
That's what we tell people from the outside. Really,
Yeah.
we just give you a gun.
Well, I thought it was
But
like
you
already had your-
You're gonna go get your
I
own
came
truck.
with plenty
you already
of guns.
had your own guns, so you,
Yeah,
you were welcomed with open arms.
So
at the
maybe
border.
that was why they're like, you've got enough guns, you don't
Yeah,
need a
yeah,
truck
yeah.
to be
Right.
a Texan. Like,
All right, so real quick, Ed has a question, and I want to do something different. Ed has a very specific FDA question. There are 6 hams on the screen. I want 6 answers. So we'll have Jim go first.
ooh,
Jim, how would you
let me
fix
get my
this?
FT8
Then
screen back.
Turn it to 11.
okay, so Jim, you're disqualified. I'll go next.
It's an
When you
answer.
have your
just
power,
ins-
it is. Do you want to give a better answer?
No,
your
I
real
put it at 100 and roll with it.
Okay. So check your ALC meter. You haven't told
Life's
us what
too
kind of
short
radio.
for QRP.
It's not a QRP thing. You haven't told us what kind of radio you have. If you have a Zygu radio, you want your ALC to be towards 100. If you have any other radio made by any other manufacturer, you want to slide that power button down, that slider down, until you start to have 0 ALC. Maybe just 1 tick, so you know that there is like the radio's paying attention. And what'll happen is your waveform goes up and comes back down, and your ALC will clip it, flat top it, and bring it back down. So you'll actually lose signal. So you want no ALC. And on Japanese radios, that's 0. And on Chinese radios, that's 100. That's my answer. Mike,
Well, see,
your turn.
I thought he was talking about his RF power, not the ALC. That's how I
Right,
read
he said
that.
PWR.
Yeah.
I read that as power, not ALC.
The power slider
what
on
I
the
read.
right side of the screen,
I'm with you,
and that
Jason.
controls the volume of audio going to the radio, which then
Yeah.
triggers your ALC circuit.
Yes.
So yeah, it's all the same. Mike, your turn.
That's a loaded question, but yes, Steve is right. So I guess
Oh,
the answer
Lord.
for power, if you're talking about power on your radio, because you're not saying power on your slider or power on your radio, you need to use as much power as you need to make the contact. Typically,
Right.
when I'm operating FT8, I'm using 69% power, just because 69. But you're always
That's a damn good
watching.
reason.
Should be using 73%. That's all right.
Right.
I'd rather 69, but hey, if you want a 73, that's great.
Married for 21 years, dude.
You always want to check that power slider on the WSJTX software, like Steve was saying, because if you don't have an ALC, and I talk about this, I did a video on setting up WSJTX. If you don't have an ALC meter, the designers of WSJTX suggest that whatever power your radio is at, use that slider, that power slider on the right, and bring it down just enough. Once you see, if you have a power output meter on your radio, once that power output meter starts to go down a little bit, so say you're at 50 watts, maybe it goes to like 48, 47, something like that. That's typically going to be a good spot for your ALC if you can't monitor the ALC. And the reason is you don't want to be blasting out full power, not necessarily full power, but you want to be putting out a clean signal. You don't want to be splattering.
Right.
We do not want splattering, and that's the reason why. So do your due diligence, and thank you for asking that question, because it is an important one.
Right.
And you'll know who's splattering because you'll see they'll just be.
Yeah.
Instead of those nice little rectangles that Steve showed, it'll be wide and sloppy.
Yeah.
Wide and sloppy.
So Mike, I run at 68. It's like 69, but you do me and I'll owe you one.
That's fair. I mean, I'm not coming up
All right,
there in
Tom.
winter, but
Right. Don, your turn. What do you think? What is your answer?
Well, on TCI, you don't do any of those things. You just simply set TCI up. It does all the rest. And so you don't.
And what is TCI for us noobs?
Because I have no idea what
It's the protocol that Sun uses on their software, and basically it does audio and cat control in one deal. And so you just set TCI, you're done. And then if you really need to adjust the power, there's honestly no way to do that except the power slider on the radio. You'll turn that up or down, and it'll adjust the power output. Now, in the Flex radio, it's different because you've got the mic gain within the DAX control, or you've got the Windows control, or you've got the power slider. So you've got many controls that you can use. And I'm not even going to try to tell you about the Anand. I'm still learning that one.
I want one of those. Those look really nice.
What, the Anand?
The Anons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dan
They are.
asked about on the 891. So on the 891, you got to use an audio interface, and that's where you're going to make your adjustments is on the audio interface, like a single signal link or a digi-rig.
Yeah, those have the little.
Because I
To a
think the only thing that you're
degree.
going to adjust on the 891 is your RF power. You can't adjust ALC on that. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've had an 891.
There's an ALC
so-
meter when you
Is there?
There is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay.
there is. Because I literally just got, when I was doing my ATAS versus Tar Heel videos, I was using the 891 with the digi-rig and the $60 computer, and there is. So if you just go into if you short press the F button on the 891 a couple times, the one of the top left screens is like the meter, and that's where you change the meter from like power to SWR to ALC. That's where you find that. So that's how you
Yeah,
adjust
that's right.
that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Jason, your turn.
Okay.
Forget the question.
turn your power all the way up, because
My
FT8 is a low signal, low noise mode, not
Is
a
a
low
weak
power
signal.
weak
Yeah,
signal
Right.
mode,
Weak
not a weak
signal
power
mode.
mode. Okay?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
On the Flex radio, look at your WSJTX, and that meter that's at the bottom left corner. If it's red, then you're too hot. Take your DAX control and turn it down until that meter's green on WSJTX.
Yep.
Once that meter's green on WSJTX, rock and roll, buddy. That's all you need. And that meter needs to be green on every radio. That's just how you adjust it on the Flex. And I think that turning the volume up and down does adjust it on some radios, the actual volume meter. But if you're looking at the WSJTX window and that meter that's kind of bouncing up and down on the bottom left corner is green, you're golden. Turn the power all the way up as much as you want. If that meter is red, you need to turn your input power down.
And if you're desperate, get
power
one
down.
of these. Although this stupid thing's in the way.
I don't see what you're looking at.
What is that? An MCHF?
No, Mercury 3.
Yeah.
Mercury
Oh, the
3. Oh, I
Mercury,
can
yeah.
see it now. Get an amplifier.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, FT8 is a low noise and low signal mode. It's not a low power mode. People think
Well, that's
it's a low
what
power
people.
mode.
So when I did my whisper testing, some people got real butthurt that I'm using like 5 or 10 watts or whatever. I'm like, guys, it is
man,
a
you war
weak.
criminal.
It is
Yeah.
a weak signal.
Yeah.
Correct.
5 is
Mode.
high for
Okay.
whisper.
You can be running 1,500 watts and still have a weak signal to the
Yes.
receiving station,
That's exactly right.
and that's what
Go to-
that's what
Go to
that's
South
what people
America.
don't understand.
Go to South America and run 1,500 watts. You're an infant. Those
Yes.
guys down there have like 10 kilowatts. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, run as much power as you need to make the
Yeah.
contact. Yes, Whisper and FT8 can decode very weak signals,
yes,
but because they can does not mean that you have to.
mhm.
correct.
and
Is that right, T-Ray?
I saw that from T-Ray also.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah,
And
all right.
yeah, I'm going to say it again too because we talked about Bouvet Island last week,
We did. Yeah.
Saturday, yeah.
and if you
And
want to
Monday.
get them, you damn well better have an amplifier because
Mhm.
everybody else with an amplifier is going to be going after them too, and that includes FT8.
Right.
All right, Kevin, you're up.
WI says
There's nothing wrong with an amplifier.
I may have ran Whisper at 50
Nope.
watts a time
Nope.
or two. Whoops. No, there's no whoops about that.
Hmm.
You can run it at whatever you want.
All right, Kevin, what do you think? What's the answer to Ed's question? Where to
Yeah,
put the power?
I think what everyone else has said. I've only played around with FT8 a few times. I set it at about 50 watts. The splatter issue is the main thing. If you're running 100 watts and nobody's hearing you, you've either got a really bad antenna or you're splattering. So,
True.
Mhm.
yeah, you know, the digital output, the output control that your radio has, you can also manipulate the sound input on your computer, which has the effect of the same thing. So if you plug in one of these modern radios that has its own sound card chip and it shows up as a sound device, in Linux,
That's
you can open ALSA Mixer and actually control the mic input for that sound card. And that has the same effect of either increasing or mitigating the splatter.
Mhm.
The splatter, as
Yeah.
it's already been said by all of you, is the key issue to. I've not run into too many people who don't run enough power on FT8. Maybe you all have, but
Right.
I do run into a lot of people who are overdriving and they can't be
right.
decoding the other end, and that's why they're not being heard.
Think
Not
of-
actually doing anything wrong. It's just the
Right.
equivalent of trying too hard.
Think of splatter as like your mic gain. Okay, you can turn the power all the way up to the highest level that you can possibly go, and then you simply back off the mic so it's not distorted.
Mhm.
And that's kind of
And we
what
see-
splatter is like.
And
We
that's
see
how I
the
have
same issue-
Windows set up.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
You can adjust that in Windows, ALC, a multitude of ways.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, ALC, right. You're really controlling two things, the same thing with two different controls.
Right.
Yes.
In Windows, the ability to control that sound input may or may not be there based on the sound card chip.
Right.
Yeah.
But in Linux, pretty much anything, if you disable pulse audio, you can control the sound card with ALSA Mixer, and that has the very granular effect of controlling that drive level. So, everything that's been said so far is correct. I interpreted the question to be how much power should he run?
See?
All
That-
Not where's the slider, right?
Yeah, he's making the assumption he's not being heard because he doesn't have enough output power. In my experience with FT8, most people, like I said before, they're not being heard because they're not being decoded. We see the same thing in APRS. People, which is a low power mode, or should be at least, but people are over driving and the packets can't be decoded when they're heard by on the other side.
Well,
And so nobody is decoding him right now. You can see him on the screen. And what I want to say is there was a comment from Hawk saying your time might be way off. And then the other thing is that your rig might not be set to USB digital mode.
Yes.
So those are two more things to check.
Mm-hmm.
Your rig does not need to be set for digital mode. When I got my 891 for like the first year that FT8 existed, I ran the 891 just in upper sideband. All
the
digital mode.
The 891 doesn't have
the
built-in. The 891 doesn't have digital modes built in, so that's kind of like that's not a fair comparison.
Not true. That's not true. If you go into the deep F menu, it has settings for it.
Yeah, it does.
But you don't need that because it doesn't have its own sound card, so it doesn't.
No, it doesn't have a sound card, but it still has.
It still has controls for it.
But if you
I have a question. Then, what exactly does digital mode do?
It shuts off the microphone on the front of the radio, so your microphone will go hot when you go into transmit mode.
Yeah, that's all I knew it did on the ICOM. When I go to digital mode, it changes the input from the mic to USB.
But
it also opens the bandwidth.
It's also digital upper. It's also FT8 is digital upper. So if you're on 40 meters, instead of being on lower sideband, it's digital upper.
It'll change it up to upper sideband. Yeah.
And we've been successful. 6 hams, 6 arguments. Love it.
Does anybody use Data L?
I've never tried it.
No.
Nobody used it, but it's usable.
I think it's useful, but not for FT8. FT8 is one data mode amongst how many? 20 or 30 of them? So Data L is out there for
traditionally all data modes are upper sideband.
You know what would be funny though?
It's got to be out there for some reason though.
It would be funny if somebody like the guys doing the Bouvet Island or something like that.
John is correct.
We're doing Fox and Hound in Data L. So if you want to work us, you better move to Data L. We won't be able to hear you in Data U.
There's other data modes. That's right, Dusty. There is. So real quick, Tim, welcome. How you doing, Tim?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we do.
Awesome. I'm doing good.
I see some nice guitars behind you.
Yep.
Oh, thank you.
I was going to ask about those.
And the ham clock.
Yeah, it's we got a Kramer, a Yamaha that used to be my grandfather's. And I'm not sure what that 12-string is. It's a cheapo.
Well, a Kramer is a name drop alone, so.
Well,
right.
Eddie Van Halen, right?
Right.
Every 80s shred guitarist, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
not making the cash for a Gibson, but
start a YouTube channel. You'll be fine.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I have so many more Gibsons now.
One for every day of the week, Mike.
James asked, what is Data L?
Lower sideband data mode
Right.
as opposed to upper sideband data mode. Yep.
Yeah.
That's one of the things the digital mode does on your radio is switch it to upper, regardless of where you are on the band.
Yeah.
My question was, I thought it did some filtering, played with the bandwidth.
On some
it
radios,
should open your passband, but no guarantee.
Yeah.
Open it up.
on some of the radios, it does actually turn the filters off.
Okay.
Like on
It
the
should do that too,
on on the FTDX 10, or sorry, 101, it turns all the filters off.
Actually,
So
no,
you-
on the ICOMs, it does not do that. I got to do all that stuff myself.
Yes, I learned.
preset digital.
And
I got to turn the
does not
noise.
do it
I got
on
to
the
turn the noise
7610.
blanker off. I got to turn the notch
Yeah.
filter off.
Yep.
I got to set the AGC. Yeah, ICOM, you need to fix your stuff.
They've got
Come on.
the
Well,
presets, Mike.
one of the
Reset
things
what?
is
FT8
Yeah.
preset in the menu.
Not on the 7610.
Oh, that's right. You're still
Does it not-
borrowing.
The,
you
multi,
have to
the
fix
multi
that.
knob doesn't do the. There have not been any updates to the 76.
There's an
No,
FTA preset in the 705 and the 7300.
yeah.
Yeah, there's not been any
Yes, there
updates
is.
to the 7610.
And
The
Jason and I
76
can
firmware
use
is probably
flex
3 years old.
profiles. So
Mhm.
Flex,
But-
everybody should do profiles the way
Yeah.
Flex does. There is
Yes.
absolutely that is you go in and set the radio up, and I've got like SSTV settings and
Right.
all kinds of different
Yep.
profiles. And all I do is click that profile, and boom, the radio.
That's,
know how you-
that's pretty sweet.
You know how you switch WSJTX profiles when you plug it into a different radio to your computer?
I need to
Yeah.
learn how to do
Flex-
that.
The Flex does the same thing, except it controls everything.
That's
yeah,
cool.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I did. 'cause
Transmit. receive everything.
Tio,
I didn't
show
know
him
this
how
could
to
do this,
swatch.
and then I saw To did a video one day, and he went and he had like, if you can
That's
see
easy.
my default 7610 right here, he had like 8 different radios there. I'm like, how do you do that? So apparently, I figured out how to do it once.
You just go to duplicate clone into. You just clone and clone into.
Yeah,
And then just rename it and set up all your settings.
Like anyone can even know that.
Yeah, it's not documented anywhere. I mean, it's right there for you to do.
Mike, I've done that in front of you at field day probably at least 3 times, but
No,
sorry, yeah.
no.
I mean, you weren't watching me, but you were standing right there, so you know.
So, Mike, I haven't done it yet.
Cognizant of that.
I haven't done it yet, Mike.
Beer at 10 in the morning, and then
it's after you've had a half a case of your all day IPA, but still, it did happen. I'm just saying it happened.
Okay, I don't doubt that. I have no recollection of that.
The other thing that you can do, Mike, is you can take 2 different copies of WSJTX, and as long as they have a different name, I haven't done it yet, but you can run the 7610 and the 705 at the exact same time on 2 different antennas on the same band if you wanted to, but multiple bands on the same computer.
Steve? You feel I'm really capable of that?
I have.
Can you do that on a Mac though? That's the question.
Sure you can. I'm on a Mac right now.
Yeah, you can do it.
Two at the same time?
Yeah, 2 different copies of WSJTX.
You got a Mac, you're going to be doing
2 different radios over 2 different USB cables. Yeah,
radios.
That's all. Just 2.
It's a haul.
Just 2?
No, I mean you can do it more if you wanted, but I mean I can't. Don, you need to get 4 flexes and have 8 slices each.
No, you don't. You just need 4. You just need 4 slices, or you need 1 flex.
You need 1 flex with 4 slices. That's right.
And a Mirage.
And you can run 8 slices at once with 8 different copies of WSJTX. Same radio.
James is a ham nugget.
I'm going to fetch another beer.
KH6WI says, "Why would you read the documentation?"
I just make sure it's in English, and then I throw it away.
One of the
Dusty is right.
One of the best manuals out there is the Flex Radio manual.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's like 4 or 5 different manuals.
I got to drop off, guys.
All right, see you later, Jason. Thanks for stopping by.
Jason, thanks for coming, man.
We'll catch you on the stream tomorrow, Jason.
Yeah, I'll be on this. I have a premiere tomorrow midday or something like that, and then happy hour tomorrow night. So hope to see you guys there.
Noonish.
We'll see you then.
Noonish.
Yeah, noonish, 1 o'clock, somewhere in there. I don't know when yet. It depends on when.
Because we're going from 11 to noon tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good to know. Okay, I'll do it at like 12:30 or so, or something like that.
Yeah, we can. Yeah. We'll talk about it.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Okay. It's quiet.
That guy's gone now.
Now we can badmouth DMR.
Yeah, the Prince of DMR is not here.
The Prince of that's good.
Ed, are you on WSJTX? Are you rocking FT8 yet? I don't see you in the. Oh no, you are. Awesome. I see you making propagation.
That means people are hearing you. So that's you're doing well there.
Yeah. Your antenna seems to have some directionality, but
yeah, and he's in 3 land, so he's in, I don't know, what does that look like? Maryland area?
No, that's farther north than Maryland. That's like
gotta zoom in. Enhance.
Boston or New Jersey.
New Jersey.
New York, somewhere in there.
Jersey.
I'm from Jersey. Are you from
Jersey? That's probably 800 miles of territory I just named off like it's all the same place. But
it is, really.
It is. It's just one big long city, right?
Yeah, so you are being heard, and that's kind of what your signal pattern looks like. So you could almost make a contact with me. You're on the wrong side of Wisconsin for me. What exit? Exactly. From New Jersey. What exit?
Anybody north of the Wisconsin border is on the wrong side of Wisconsin.
Yeah. Now the only thing is, though, looking at the signal strength, the -18, etc., I would say pump up the power if you can.
He's got this -1 down here in Florida. West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Yeah. Is anybody on 10 meters today?
Not now. No. It's dark.
Well, no. I said today, Stephen.
No.
Today's not over, James.
It looks pretty dead.
The band wasn't that great today.
That's what I thought.
And I don't think it's going to be good tomorrow either.
Not with that kind of attitude.
Yeah, that's right.
My geocron says
And I-
pour
and-
and pour for day and night for 12 and 10 meters.
And I just got my Moxon up too.
And 6 meters is closed off tight.
I mean, if you got the Moxon up, you're probably going to be okay.
Just
What
like
would
my
Chuck
ex-wife's-
say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Moxon all the way.
You and Chuck will have a lot of QSOs, nobody else.
All Don,
I
all
don't
Chuck,
know.
all day.
I don't know if Chuck has a 10-meter Moxon. I know he's got a 20 portable, but
I thought he made.
Just use a
Chuck
tuner.
Chuck has got a Moxon for
by the
everything,
way-
I would bet.
let me tell you a trick on a Moxon. Use tubing. Do not use wire. Wire will give you a high Q. Tubing will expand that Q out so that you cover a full 10-meter band or a 6-meter band. Now, 20 wire's probably okay, but
Dude, when you say cover the full 10-meter band,
yeah,
I mean,
28
there's
to
only
29,
300
28
or
to
400
30.
kilohertz.
28
We're
to
gonna-
30.
On 10
So
meters, it's
you're
like
doing
28.
FM and
Yeah, on
repeaters
10
and
meters.
stuff.
Get
Wire
up in the FM portion.
Yeah.
All right. I do. I had a guy down here, Jerry. He texted me and he's like, "Dude, I'm hearing a 10-meter repeater from North Carolina."
Oh, cool.
Here in, I mean, he lives 30 miles south of me.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to figure out how to get FM on the ICOM here. I'm like, how, and like tones and stuff. I can hear the repeater though, so
Yeah.
that's pretty neat. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, actually, my my Nelson antennas, the antenna, the NFED that I have up,
Mhm.
going horizontally this way. I'm actually about to replace it with a 10 antennas. But yeah, I heard a repeater from North Carolina on 10 meters in Texas. It's crazy.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've worked one repeater. And the thing about working the repeaters on 10 meters, you still have to do the same thing you do on 2 meters with the CTSS tone and the offsets and all of that stuff. But if you got a fairly modern radio, you can do that. Some of the older radios don't have the tones. But I opened a repeater up a few weeks back. But yeah, I mean, when I'm on either 6 meters or 4 meters, I want the whole damn band. If I'm going to go to that much trouble to stick an antenna up there.
4 meters.
6 meters.
Oh, okay.
6 meters is 50 to 54. And the
I think he meant
Moxon,
4 megahertz of band on. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, that's
I
Well,
searched
no,
4 meters, but I could be
that's the
wrong.
problem I have with the DX.
No, I heard the
Commander
same thing.
is that 10 comes in like really high, dips down, comes back up, and so you don't really get the whole band. You get this little slice of it. And I think Dave Kassler or somebody. Anyway, I was asking him about it, and he said, "Oh yeah, if you put up a dipole, you won't have that problem." But I don't know.
I'm not going to comment on that, but
Yeah. What I do know is if you use a tube, obviously you get that greater skin effect, and it acts like it's a much larger wire, so you get a lot more bandwidth out of it.
So I've actually got a 6-meter Moxon I put together with, I think it was 14 gauge wire. And I'm looking to upgrade that, if you will, and put together a 10 and a 6 on the same frame, kind of like a hex beam.
Yeah, one inside the other. I've seen
Yeah.
that.
So, but what size tube are you talking about?
Well, to be
Is
honest
it
with
copper
you,
or is it aluminum?
these are aluminum, and I'll be honest with you, both of the ones I have are ones I bought from MFJ. And I have found them to be extremely well built. Now, I did run into the quote MFJ problem on the 10 meter in that they left out 2 of the pieces, two pieces of tubing out of it. but I bridged it with wire for a while. Where that tube was, I just like got a couple of fishing poles, stuck it in between the two tubes, and then ran a wire between them. And then I left that like that for a week or two and was using it. It was working beautifully. And then they sent me the tubes to add to the antenna, and so they made it right like really quickly. So I've been pleased with them. And the 6 meter Moxon, and the 6 meter Moxon was such a crazy thing because I literally set it down in my living room over here on a set of chairs and tuned it up, and it tuned up right correct. I mean, and I was like, okay, but when I put it up, 16 feet, it's going to change. And it didn't. It still was within, it was still covering the entire band. And it's never done me wrong. And then the 10 meter was, you could tell, you were down here at like 27, and the higher it went, the more it came up into the 10 meter portion. And by the way, that 10 meter Moxon is built, actually, it's designed for 27 megahertz, but they sell it as a 10 meter. But it's just big enough that you can expand it out and put it on 27. Should there be anyone out in the audience that might be interested?
Well, two things we need to
Although I
cover
don't think,
we need to cover right now. Andy, thank you for the super chat. And this is the time on Car When We Dance. So as soon as I can scroll to the tunes, we'll hit it. Just for you, Andy. Woo!
Number one.
He needs some milk. Number two, I just discovered that K6YYL Ham Radio Lady has a YouTube channel, which apparently Steve was looking up, and there is the link to her channel.
Yeah.
Makes the dream work.
That's right. That's right.
So y'all go throw her a subscription. She needs subscribers. I haven't even looked at her channel until now, but she's got about, 40 or 50 videos out there.
We got 100 of you watching. We got to get her at least to another 100 subscribers tonight.
Get her to 200 tonight.
And then number 3, John, NJ4Z showed up. John, how are you? Who are you? Why are you here? Welcome.
Oh, hey, how you doing, guys? Name's John NJ4Z. I'm down in South Carolina. Been watching you guys a little bit here and there. Just figured I'd pop in and see what you guys had going on, and was interested in the Moxon conversation. That's what kind of prompted me to jump
another
in
one.
What's that?
Where's Chuck when you need him?
When you start talking about the aluminum tubing and the skin effect and how it changes the length of the antenna and also your Q on the antenna works out very good. So I'm kind of an antenna guy. So just jumped into it.
John, if you ever want to see something really cool, go look up the ARRL's 80 meter cage dipole.
80 meter cage dipole.
Oh, cage dipole.
The cage dipoles, you're basically getting that skin effect for the circle of wire that you created when you create the cage.
Oh, wow.
And it's they have a antenna at the ARRL that covers the entire 80 meter and 75 meter band.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Okay, that's low Q.
And it's basically it's about that big around,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, if you look at
size,
some of those loops when they use the big copper tubing, like the Italian loop, that's how they get it to have not such a deep SWR curve and not be so high Q. And that's why they tune a little bit easier as they use that really big tubing. I play with verticals more than I do anything else. I really am into the vertical stuff. So Callum stuff and rays and that kind of thing.
You were the one on talking to Callum about the phasing stuff.
Yeah. I built him a three element phasing array controller. So
I am so interested in that.
Well,
I just don't have the land.
Yeah, that's the problem with a 40 meter array. It's a pretty big deal. I mean, you've got about 10 meters between each of the each of the elements. And then you got to have radial fields out of that. So you're looking somewhere between 30 and 40 feet wide, or 30 to 40 meters wide. So 20 meters is a little more manageable. And I've built a 20-meter array too, and it works out pretty well.
Can you do it with just 2, or
Sure,
do you need
yeah.
4?
No,
Okay.
you can do 2, you can do 4. 4 is a 4 square. You can do it that way, but two's real easy, and 2's actually a lot of fun. They're quick to put up. If you're doing POTA and you're going to be somewhere camping, 2-element vertical array, especially for 20 or 40, fantastic, easy to do, and you'll get a lot of context. Now it's mono banded, but
Right. Doesn't
still get
matter
a lot of
all that
context.
power. So
Yeah.
what you're talking about is taking a vertical setup for 40 meters that's driven from your radio, and then a quarter wavelength away, another vertical that's set up for 40 meters just sits there.
Yeah, you can do it parasitically, where you would connect the radio wires to the driven element and make it a reflector, and then you're one direction. Or you can phase them, and you'd have a relay, and you put specific feed lines out to each of the elements, and then you switch in a loop of coax, which delays one of the elements. And what it does is the first element fires, and that signal, when it reaches the second element, the delayed element, it comes in, and then they coherently combine, and that increases your gain in one direction.
The phase combines. Right?
Yeah, the
That's
phase
it.
combines. Yeah, exactly. Yep. So you
Right.
basically, when you get in phase together, they couple together and take off at a much more.
And if you don't have that exactly right, you're going to screw yourself even worse, because then you're going to be decreasing that signal.
Exactly.
Well.
Yeah. If your phase is out, then 180 degrees out of phase, they cancel each other completely, and anything
Yeah.
else out of phase, they don't add. They start to subtract.
They're subtracting from the primary signal.
Yep.
We're gonna have to build one of those.
When
Now,
when
I'm
you were
thinking
talking- when you were talking to Callum about that, one of the questions I had was, could you use a classic and then a repeat because that gives you a larger pole and a shorter pole? Because
Yeah,
I
you
didn't see how
You can do it. What I did is and when I first built the 40-meter array, I used 12-meter poles, and Callum didn't have them, so I got them from Soda Beams. So I used 12-meter poles and did it that way. Now, if you're doing a 20-meter deal, the 7-meter rapide poles, fantastic for that. No problem at all.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Because I have a repeat coming, and I have a classic here in.
So you can
In production.
You can build it.
And you don't have snow on the ground.
Hell no. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That's why I don't live in Chicago no more, man.
Yeah, where you at, Jim?
Alabama.
Alabama. Okay, I'm in South
Yeah,
Carolina.
I'm just south of Montgomery.
Yeah,
Kind of the same accent.
Southern
So
accent.
same accent. I just don't talk to Chicagoan guys because haven't lived there in 40 years almost.
But yeah, you can use a rapide pole and a classic pole, no problem. If you're gonna, with a 40-meter, you want 10 meters vertically. So it's a little different.
Just
So
do it on
height
20
is-
meters.
That height is critical.
20 meters, yeah, then you're good.
Mm-hmm.
So the 40 wouldn't work as well, or wouldn't work at all.
Well, when you start talking about wrapping it back over the top on 40
I
meters,
gotcha.
because the antennas, when you're doing it, what they call the Christman method, and you're feeding a phase angle in there, you have to have the impedances pretty close. Otherwise, the current doesn't divide correctly, and it's not very efficient. So if you build the antennas almost exactly the same, and when you tune them, you're gonna be a little bit shorter than 10 meters. For a 40 meter, you're gonna be like 9.92, 9.98, somewhere in that neighborhood. And because there's mutual coupling, if you build them the same and you test them and you check your impedance, if they're pretty darn close, like 35, 36 ohms each, then it'll work beautiful. But if you're way off, if you've got one at 42 ohms and one at 32 ohms, you're screwed. You really have to get them close together to use that Christman method. Now, if you use a current dividing circuit, different animal. But again, that's a lot more expensive and a lot more difficult to build.
That is cool.
So
I didn't think
John-
about that. I ordered a repeat. Callum had a special on yesterday.
Yeah.
And Jason was talking about, and it took me about 1.2 minutes to decide to pull that trigger.
Mhm.
There was some angst. I thought, maybe should I tell my wife? Nah, never mind. And so I have one of those
Apologize
coming.
later.
Yeah,
I have a
forgiveness.
classic, and it's it's awesome. It's a great
Yeah.
antenna.
Over permission.
Yeah, I bought 3 of the Rapide poles that are 7-meter poles from him. When we first started talking about these arrays, the triangle especially, and I said, "Can you send me some poles?" So he sent me kits without the wire, and that's what I used to build the 20-meter. Now, I just took his expedition down to St. John with me, and I ran from St. John for 7 days. And
that expedition is what's up.
Yeah, that expedition's great. And of course, I bought the plates because the original expedition I had when I took it down there in 18 was a prototype. He hadn't even put it on the market yet. He had the poles, but he hadn't all the plates. So I had him send me a set of plates for the Classic, and I routed them out and changed them. So I made it work for down there in 2018. So when I went down there just a month ago, I told him, send me some new plates. Well, now he's got the new plates with the notches in them, which would have been a heck of a lot easier.
I just watched that today.
Right.
I think I'm going to try and say, hey, buddy, can you send me a set of plates?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you got
Steve,
the pole.
your pole is shorter than the one Mike has.
But it's still 10 meters when fully erected.
I was showing the Classic pole. That is
He's
the
a grower,
expedition
not a
pole that
shower.
Steve has.
Yeah, I'm a grower, not a shower. Yeah, this is the expedition pole. I like this one here. This is the only pole that's better than this for going, man portable is the Carbon 6, but they're hard to get.
I would.
Well, and then you get the ape shaming if you get one of those carbon fiber masks.
Right.
Those
I
are
know
two
I've
completely
experienced
different masks. I would.
You
not
have
even
been
put them in
ape
the same
shamed
same
frequently about
category.
that. What, Mike?
So, John,
What,
I've
Mike?
got a question for you, John,
Sure, Tim.
if I might. You were talking about the Foursquare. As far as elevation on all 4 of the verticals, how much do you need to worry about that? I'm on
Pretty
a slope
flat.
lot.
Pretty flat.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't try it on a too severe slope. I don't know exactly what it would do to it, but I don't think it would be a very good.
because I would probably be about 6 to 8 feet.
It's going to change your takeoff angles.
Yeah, it's gonna favor one
lower
direction,
it.
and the other thing it's gonna do is when you go to the other way when you're going uphill, it's gonna slam a lot of your low
Into
angle
the dirt.
Yeah, into the dirt.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. Yeah.
But
Well,
don't let that stop you from doing it. Do it, have fun with it, enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then when you get to flat land, enjoy it.
The other thing the other thing I think you can do with that is go vertical, raise the verticals.
Yep.
So that you raise one 2 feet and then you raise the one 4 feet, so they're at the same plane.
There's a couple guys that build them with elevated radials, and they get them up about 4 to 6 feet off the ground, and they use 4 radials coming off at a pretty oblique angle, and
Who you calling oblique?
they work really, really well. Oblique, sorry, a really
Yeah,
shallow angle. How's that?
You call me shallow now? Jeez,
Yeah.
you're kicked off the stream. Get out of here.
Yeah, we had a guy in the club that he's not in our club, but he presented to the club, and he does for field day. He does 40-meter vertical array or vertical Yagi, and he's doing the reflector, and then he puts 1 to 3 directors in front of him.
Yeah, that works
And,
great.
His are all elevated.
Yep.
So
I'm working on a switching method to basically build 3 in a row, and then be able to switch back and forth between them, which direction you want to go 180 degrees. But it's a little bit of, you basically have to switch in coils. Even in the middle when you have to switch in a coil to make it longer. So you have one build them all
how are you changing the
director.
length?
Yeah, you'd build them all for the director, and then you flip in a coil on the driven element, and then you flip in coils on either end, longer coils, to make the reflectors. But it's just, I don't know, still playing with it.
Yeah, I think that one of the neatest ones y'all did was the triangle one. The triangle.
I love that thing.
Oh, yeah.
We've put that thing up for field day for our club 3 years in a row now, and that thing is just an absolute monster. I mean, you can switch it 3 directions and it just gets out. I mean, the first contact we made on it was Washington State in the evening when we set it up the day before field day, and we were 40 over into Washington. In about an hour, we were going into 5.9 into Japan with no problems at all.
Nice.
It was crazy.
Yeah. And remember, that's from South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
That's not from California.
Nope. Yeah, and some pretty nasty clay ground down here, and in kind of a hole down by the river. So yeah, I was surprised when we got the first report, and then of course an hour later we're talking to Japanese stations like FT8 was going, but we were all sideband.
Yeah, and just for anybody that's watching, go watch Callum's stream with John on it, and because they do a whole hour-long talk on this stuff, and it's fascinating.
Yeah, I've got a couple links for a little more advanced setup on that same talk we did about on my channel, so it's in the comments on Callum's. Yeah, my channel is kind of, well, when I get in the mood to do something, I do something.
I'll be honest with you. The thing that throws me off is all the math that you guys were doing. I'm like, I get what you're saying, but I have no idea how you're getting there.
Well, I can shoot you the calculator for the phasing angles. I built a pretty good calculator. It's pretty easy to use. So you put in what frequency you want, and you tell it how many degrees. It'll tell you what your cut length is. And then when you build the cable, you built it, with one connector and then a blunt end. And then you put it on a meter and check your impedance, and you look to bring your impedance down as close to zero as you can, because it'll never zero directly out. And you can just cut a little bit at a time, and that's how you make it. So you have a check frequency you work on. Real easy.
Well, do you know if anybody builds those things? Because I am not a electronics engineer.
What the switching
relay
arrays
and all that stuff? Yeah.
I've built a few and sent them out on somebody's commissioned me to build them. They're not terribly difficult to build, but you have to have patience, because it is a little bit of a affair to put them together.
You ever thought about releasing the schematics?
Yeah, I've thought about it. Cal and I have been talking about something, so we're kind of just sitting back and trying to figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, we might. I don't know if he's going to want to do a kit or what. We don't know yet, but we may end up, if he decides he doesn't want to do it. I'm not going to business. I'll put the relay, everything out there, and let everybody else do it. So I didn't mean to hijack the stream with the vertical stuff.
Oh no, this is awesome.
Yeah, I'm so fascinating by it. So
ham radio stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody has questions about the phase verticals, let me know. I'll be glad to answer them. I'm good on QRZ.
Yeah, so Dan, do you have do you have like a YouTube channel or something that you do? I see a whole bunch of ham paper behind you.
Yeah, I've got a YouTube channel. It's From the Ham Shack with NJ4Z.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I've probably got 12 or 15 videos out there. I do them when I want to do them. I started it during COVID when I had time, and I have my own business, so now we're in full song. So it's a little difficult to make time to do videos. Yeah. Look at the cat.
Yeah, Satan. Yep.
He just wants you all to know that he hates you.
Yeah.
The dog didn't like you either, brother.
Yeah, screw that dog.
Oh, he's a good dog, man.
Yeah, that's what every asshole dog owner says.
He's really, or he was really skittish. And anybody who approaches him, if he doesn't know you, he doesn't go for you. He just kind of backs up.
That was you in Florida, though, right?
Yeah, it was me and Steve and Darcy. So Steve owns Split Fin.
He's like, this dog doesn't like any guy with a beard.
Yeah, I remember the dog. I remember you now.
No.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He's matured a little bit. So even I can go around with my beard and he doesn't bother me.
Listen, I ain't losing sleep, buddy.
I hear you.
I would love more than anything to give your dog scratches, but if he wants to be I don't care.
Are you guys
I have a cat I can deal with, okay?
Yeah.
He's really good at ignoring me.
Yeah. That's what cats do.
Except when they don't ignore you and they annoy the crap out of you.
As long as they're not.
What, like at 3 a.m? And by the way, I feel I need to mention this. My floor doesn't look this way because I'm untidy. That's why my table looks that way. Satan loves this Heil bag. Specifically, this Heil. I have another bag just exactly like it, but this one says Heil. I got it at a swap, right?
Mhm.
He goes crazy for this thing. Like he fights it, he goes inside it, he attacks it. So that's now part of my furniture.
If he fits, it sits.
That's
Not
right.
even that. It's not even that. Like I came in here the other day and he was just like legit sitting on it. He's like, "This is my bed," but then he'll attack it. I mean, just he's not declawed, and his nails are sharp as all get out.
Yeah.
And he's insane. He just attacks it. But hey, that's cool. That's great. Bob Heil invented the talk box. So
And apparently the cat back.
We've gotten the ham radio lady up to 210 subscribers from
awesome.
79. So
Awesome.
I gotta go out and get hers and
y'all hit her channel up.
Does Satan do that thing where he hides in a box and waits for you to walk by and then reaches out?
No. Satan does not care at all about boxes.
Oh, okay.
And it pisses me off because I'm like, I get boxes all the time, and even like when that thing was going around where if you like take some painter's tape and just like tape a square on the floor, people are like, my cat will sit in it because it's a button that Satan does not care about boxes at all. Satan does not care about anything. That's how evil of a cat he is. He's like, yeah, cats are supposed to love boxes. Nope, I'm a dick. I don't care about boxes.
No. Yeah,
Mine fight over boxes.
Yeah, 2 of the cats I had didn't care at all about boxes and wouldn't get in anything.
No.
And then these 2, both of them, like a paper bag or a box or whatever, man, they're getting in it. And then with the paper bag, they headbutt it until it splits open. And
yeah,
but they'll hide or Squirt anyway will hide in the deal. And if I'm walking by, he just like reaches out and tags me. You just feel the claws. You don't get scratched or anything. You just know the claws are there. He's just telling you, well, I could get you.
Oh no, Satan does that. He just doesn't hide because he doesn't go in the bags. He's just on the floor, and I walk by, and he's like, shh. They just let you know they're there. They're like, here's my claws.
Yep.
Right in your leg.
See, they're sharp.
That's just what they do.
Yep.
Yeah, zoom in.
Mike never claw me, but they let you know they
Dude, every cat owner could write that book.
Amen.
I am not special. Satan
Mike,
is not special.
Can you answer this question in like an NC-17 kind of way?
No, I have
possible?
not. And to be honest, I think if you do that, you're a dick.
Have you been to the emergency room because of a cucumber?
No.
Very good.
No, but like that's messed up. Like, and again, that's probably
I don't know what it is.
Satan wouldn't. It's
I
so
have
like
no
if your
idea.
cat. The thing is, this was big on the internet a couple years ago. If like your cat's eating or drinking or just kind of occupied, you put a cucumber on the ground behind it, and he turns around and he sees the cucumber. He freaks the F out, right? So it's basically like, let me traumatize my cat for 15 seconds of internet fame. And it turns out now, I mean, it could be the world we live in now, but it's cats have feelings, and sometimes when you put a cucumber behind them and it scares them, they get like, I don't know, I'm going off here, but yeah, no, it's just like they're not ready for it. I've said this 100 times. I love animals more than anything in the world, and I hate people.
Amen.
So I don't see why you would.
That's why I'm in amateur radio.
Yet another reason to hate people because we do things like that to animals.
Arguing's allowed in ham radio. It's kind of encouraged.
No, it's not.
Right?
Yeah. I'm okay with videos like that where one cat does it to the other cat. That no problem, as long as it's not staged. But if it's like somebody's like scaring them on purpose, no.
Yeah, and that's what it was. But I mean, but again, Satan doesn't care.
No.
So it's weird that it's a cucumber. I mean, I wonder if there's some kind of genetic thing in cats. They're like, oh my God, we remember the cucumbers from the Great Ark, and it freaked us out then when they came from space to take over the planet. The space
Red
ark.
dwarf.
Space Ark.
You
yeah.
don't think the little bastards are from this planet, do you? There's no way.
They didn't come out of the volcanoes with the rest of the Scientologists?
They might have. I don't know. For the record,
no,
I
I'm
have
sorry.
six,
That was the planes. That was the DC-9.
for the record, I have 6 cats. So
Have you heard about? I'm sorry, crazy
Wow.
cat.
I was gonna say crazy old man cats.
Have you heard about the chicken trick with the
that's what my wife is
sidewalk
for.
cracks?
With the what?
You take a chicken and you lay it down on the sidewalk and you put its head in line with the sidewalk crack and it just goes paralyzed. Can't move.
Mhm.
You just have to like stretch it out gently so it sees the sidewalk crack out of the side of its
I
eye.
feel you know definitively.
Oh,
the
I've had
answer to
chickens.
that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I've
done it.
I've not been in an area where there have been live chickens.
Oh, I've had
Just-
hundreds and hundreds of chickens. I used to raise
I'm envious of
birds
that.
and egg layers. Man, you have no idea how many eggs. We used to have so many eggs that we would just feed them to the hogs. Can't eat
Jason,
them
we
fast
need
enough.
video if the cucumber trick works on the kid. I mean, he may grow up to hate you, but it'll be funny.
Yeah, there it is. Dusty knows what's up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did
We'll go
that.
back to Dusty, then we'll do the other one. Come on.
I'm not clicking.
You can draw a line for the chicken's face with your finger as well, and it will do the same thing. Chickens, roosters especially. Roosters are just horrible, horrible creatures.
Maybe they're just extremely studious animals.
No, they're not
or
as mean as
something.
turkeys.
Do you see the opening scene of Idiocracy where the one football player, Cleavon, is holding the 2 girls walking off the football field? Cleavon Jr. That's how the rooster is.
The beginning. Of
I'm with
Idiocracy.
Jody on
I don't
this.
remember that. I don't remember that part.
We were talking about the old James Harden couple not wanting to procreate because the girl just wants to be right.
Yeah.
His audio
Tio's
just go away?
Tio's
Lost
mic
your audio.
finally
Yeah,
failed.
your mic just took a deuce.
What the heck?
No,
Yeah,
There you go.
I'm
you're
pretty
back
sure
now.
yours is the one that's doing that buzzing.
Yeah.
Well, my FT8's on a totally different computer.
No, I don't think it's
No?
FT8 because it doesn't match
Son,
it.
it's. Did you get that cable from the Buckies?
Right where you told me to,
Whoa,
Tim.
take it easy on the Buckies
Yeah.
there, son.
It's a metaphor, brother. It's a metaphor. I don't have no Buckies down
Nah,
here.
it ain't no
Gas station
metaphor.
USB cable.
The
Gas sta-
metaphors you're going to
the
use with
7-Eleven.
Buckies are metaphors that are synonymous with high quality.
Synonymous
Wawa.
with autonomous.
Wow, dude, you want to know what? I was thinking about the Wawa Thanksgiving sandwich today.
Oh, yeah.
What do they call it? The
It's better than family.
what? No, but what do they call the hoagie? There's this specific like
Oh, there was the Wawa
Wawa
Sizzly.
Thanksgiving hoagie. Anyway, I was thinking about with the cranberry sauce and everything because, dude, I lived on the East Coast, man.
See, we
I've
don't-
been to many a Wawa. Okay,
They don't. There's one they're building here down in Mobile, which, okay, it's kind of pointless
Alabama
for me.
is so far away from the East Coast. That Wawa is
Yeah.
probably not gonna
At least
probably
100
not gonna
miles.
survive. But when you're in like
A gobbler.
New Jersey or Virginia or Pennsylvania, what the heck? The gobbler. Oh, dude.
Now,
This
I
is
ordered my
Thanksgiving
coffee-
dinner on a bun.
With that
All
one on
my
the bottom
coffee
with the
comes from
cranberry
Wawa.
sauce.
Hmm.
Dude, gotta have a Wawa. Wawa, please come to Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, so this is mashed potatoes. This is turkey and gravy. This is stuffing, turkey and gravy, and cranberry sauce on a hoagie
Son,
roll.
I would hit that like
And-
the angry hand of God.
Yeah.
Oh, it
People
deserves
don't
it, too.
understand. This is a gas station.
This
Did they
this
serve
was my
those
wife's
all year
first
long?
Thanksgiving with me. We did this as our Thanksgiving
She's
date.
a lucky girl.
I know. It took her only to the best. We still talk about it 13 years later.
I would too. Yeah.
We've got a restaurant.
Now,
that opened up
my first introduction to Wawa. I have never been to a Wawa, but Steve and somebody else. Oh,
Beer snack. Beer snack.
Snack
Yeah.
was going on about how good the coffee is at Wawa, and I'm like, it's a gas station. I get my Dunkin' at Publix grocery store. We're good. No, this is better.
Yeah,
This is-
Dunkin' sucks.
Yes, it does. And so I ordered some Wawa coffee online, and we threw out the Dunkin'. And that's, dude, literally we did. That's all I've been buying. I buy 4 bags a time.
That's great.
I love
Yeah,
Wawa
Wawa's
coffee.
what's up. I actually knew Sheets before Wawa because I
sorry.
moved to Virginia, and Sheets was the thing.
It
And I'm
was
in
until
my-
you went to Wawa.
Well, I'm in my like mid-20s, and like I'm in a new town. I'm in a band. We're playing shows. It's 2 a.m. We're hammered drunk. Let's go to Sheetz. So Sheetz is still like number one for me, but Wawa's bigger. They've got more locations, but it's the same idea.
I'm looking forward to it when the Wawa in Mobile gets built and opens. I'm going to drive down there on a weekend just to experience Wawa directly. Now they have them in Florida. They're in Florida because I've seen them in Orlando when I was down there the last time.
My dad and I stop at a Wawa. My dad lives north. Where the hell does he live? He lives in Lake Placid, Florida, where all of the old people go to die. Like that's ground zero.
Yeah.
Is that the Villages? That's the Villages right by Ocala.
Everything is a village.
Del Boca Vista.
You will not go more than 100 feet without hitting a dollar store. So don't worry. There's one road that goes straight through Florida. I forget what it is, but it goes through Sebring and stuff.
95.
It's not 95. 95 on the East Coast. It's through
and Florida's not. Oh,
well, no, through Central.
Okay.
It's just on the west side of Lake Okeechobee is kind of where it goes.
If anybody's wondering, by the way, it's not Diet Dr. Pepper.
Glenlivet.
This time.
Nice stuff.
Nice. I was drinking some Jameson earlier.
Well, I had the Devil's Cut. I was going to get it, but I haven't had scotch in a hot minute, and I do like scotch. So
I love scotch.
Get you a bottle of 15.
So anyway, we stopped at a Wawa. My dad and I, we stop at Wawa on our way up to Hamcation every year. And it's great. They got the breakfast sandwiches. They got their coffee
made
is
to order.
pretty good. Yeah.
Made to order.
MTO.
Yeah. So KH6WI Ham Radio Ohana is our Hawaiian representative today, and he says, "Can you get cheese curds from the counter?" I want to settle the debate on cheese curds. If you get cheese curds from the gas station, you're not getting real chease curds. There's a
got them out of
difference
the toilet.
You gotta get cheese curds from a local
that
dairy
rhymes with
farm.
curd.
Right at the making of them. They're fresh, they squeak, they're awesome. But the cheese curds in the gas station and the grocery store, they're not the same.
Mars Cheese Castle.
Who?
Mars Cheese Castle. What is that? Up 94 in Racine.
Oh, Kevin, I just realized you're a 9. You're up in Wisconsin too, aren't you?
No,
He's a Racine Bell.
This is my dad's call sign.
Oh, okay.
I'm closer to John. He's Y cars. I'm in U cars, just across the border in Union.
Oh,
County.
you're in Union County?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, come on down to White Cars. Come visit us, man. We got open house every
We're going down to Wise Cars Town.
Yeah.
Greatest deals on ham radios around.
So two things. He also mentioned that he'll be doing a POTA tomorrow. So if you're looking for a Hawaii contact,
10 meters
on 10 meters, KH6 Whiskey India, or if Ape was saying that, it'd be kilogram hopscotch, kilogram hologram 6. I don't know.
Come on, pull it.
I'm trying to think of a country with a W, and I can't. Wisconsin.
That's a state.
Indiana,
yeah.
The more syllables, the better.
Yeah, when he was doing the K-Toads call, when we revealed the K-Toads Club and had that call, Ape was Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, 0. I mean, he was Azerbaijan,
Dominica.
So I'm not going to ask what his call is, but
we wouldn't tell you.
Does anybody actually know that's here what it is?
Yep.
Okay.
A couple of us do. A couple of us don't, Jim.
What is?
What Ape's call sign is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm his handler, so I have to know. If you guys want to send anything to him, send it to me. Tell me to forward it. I'll get it over to him.
For years.
I'm just trying to figure out if I've ever worked it.
Yes, you have.
If you've worked on the radio, you've probably worked.
Well, he was on the other day, but he was running Toads, the son of a bitch, because he was like, "I'm going to get on. Is anybody near a radio?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah!" Because I remoted into mine from work. This was
Clarence is usually like multi-band.
Oh, don't say his government name.
Single. What do they call it? Single station 2 operator, whatever. From
SO2R.
Nebraska.
Yeah, SO2R.
Yeah. So
from
Clarence,
Nebraska,
the Smoking Ape, Clarence.
His name
We're
is
my
really
friend.
Walter Sobchak.
And if you've ever worked with a K, an N, a W, or an A station, his call sign begins with one of those letters.
That's right.
Right.
That narrows it.
Out of Nebraska, though, you gotta.
Mhm.
So look at
What
your
is-
log and be like, out of all the 1 through 0 calls and the K through A calls, which ones are in Nebraska?
Right.
We're direct. Look at direction finding. That's what we do, boys. It's fun.
Yeah, I mean, he's even told us what
How you find
part
it?
of Nebraska he lives in.
Mhm.
The Nebraska part.
You're right.
Yep.
The rectangular part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
And I know how to find where Josh's house is, but that was not hard at all.
what's the
Yeah,
PO
and-
box on his QRZ, isn't it? I thought,
Flat.
Well, yeah, but I know where his actual house is
I thought they were just shorter people.
because all you had to do was follow him on APRS, and then follow him on APRS, then go on Google Maps and go, yeah, there's the step IR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look for the QRM. You'll hear it.
Mhm.
And APRS will not work because Ape don't do no APRS. That's how they get you.
Huh?
He does
Oh, yeah.
APRS.
Right.
Papers.
Mhm.
Tells you
Well,
everything
he
except
could-
for where his location is.
You could run an iGate.
No.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean he talks about being on the air all the time, but I've never seen him. So I don't know if I know that he's actually done any of these things or if he just talks about them.
I may or may not have had a single sideband contact with the smoke grenades.
May or may not. Is that your plausible deniability?
I don't know.
Just doesn't know for sure.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, we could all say that.
You could. Yes, you could.
But have you talked to him on DMR?
No.
No.
No, I haven't actually. That's what the Germans would like you to think.
So he's the one that got me to buy the DMR radio. So I said, the only way this is happening is if. And he said, all right, fine. And that was the last time we talked to him on the radio. What's that? The 6x2.
Okay. Oh, that was a while ago. That was when he was
Yeah.
making those videos.
Yeah.
I mean, those videos. Yeah, he was like he made a couple of videos where he's like, I want to get a DMR radio, and it's like, which one do I want? He made like a 2 or 3 video series out of it. And this was like when I'm way new into ham radio, so like the Smoking Ape was an even bigger deal than he is now. He's still. But yeah, he's like the Baofeng was the one.
Baofeng Tech.
Baofeng Tech, yeah.
Okay, excuse me.
Well,
Yeah.
don't buy the TYT.
Don't-
Them things are hurt.
Don't hurt my feelings.
What antenna is that you got on there, Steve? Is that the
My favorite 2-meter ham radio antenna, the Super Elastic Signal Stick.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With the
I got a
glow in the dark tip.
Right.
Let's talk about that for a second. Is that your DMR radio that you're on Toads?
Yeah.
Interesting you use that because I have. Are you going into a repeater or a hotspot?
Pi Star hotspot.
Okay. Me too. Hang on. I ordered a couple more today. So
Hotspots?
these these
Yeah.
these stubby
Yep. Perfect for
That's like
in-house.
garbage antennas. Because DMR radios should have an option to put out like a milliwatt.
Yeah.
Just an obscenely small amount of power.
Mhm.
Because I'm literally here. I can touch my hotspot from reaching like where I am. I'm
Bad
literally like a
touches?
foot away.
Good touches.
So
Show me on the
I
Baofeng where you touch
bought-
the hotspot.
you'll get demonetized. So I bought these antennas with the intention that, like, I want them to be, yes, Jody, a doingy. I want them to be a dummy load.
Yeah.
I don't want my signal to get. I hit a repeater like 15 miles away with this antenna.
I
What
was so
antenna-
pissed.
What crappy antenna did you buy that actually works really well?
Oh, this was I bought these years ago. I couldn't even tell. But I
Okay.
literally yesterday because I'm watching K6EGG's channel and he's
Yeah.
always doing the freaking. It's like you got to get the DMR, the D-Star, and the freaking fusion. You got to get all the boys working together, right? Pisses me off. But I got the 705 out because that's the only radio that I have that does the D-Star, and I'm like, well, I need to get this radio here, but then I need to get a BNC 90 degree, and then a male BNC to go in the female BNC, and then an SMA, and then I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'll just buy a couple of these that are BNC. So I bought a couple of these that are BNC.
Oh,
But for a DMR hotspot situation, I don't want a good antenna.
So
Yeah.
Iowa Hank
Don't.
mentions this, and it's Hawk mentioned this. If you have GD77, Baofeng DM1801, and I think there's a TYT that's in there as well, and you flash it with the open GD77, you can crank the power down to 50 milliwatts. Because that's how I use my fangs here at the house. I got one out in the shop and one here for doing DMR because they are super low power.
And of course, if you install the open GD77, you can actually work satellites with it because it actually has satellite tracking software in it.
I did not know that. I've never played with that. I didn't realize it did that.
Well, yeah, there was a guy at our club meeting earlier this month, and he went over the whole thing. And it's like you put in the Kepler data, it changes it follows the Doppler shift as the
Does the Doppler shift? Mm-hmm.
It shows you a little like map of the satellite track as it comes over, with the little swoop on a deal bullseye, and then the little thing will move as it goes through, and it does all of that through the Kepler data that you upload in there. You upload the Kepler data instead of the contacts, so that's where it stores the Kepler data. But yeah, some really smart person figured out how to do that.
That's cool.
Yeah,
that's very
Got
cool.
a couple of satellite hounds in our club. I'll have to pass that along to them. Thanks for that.
Yeah, of course, obviously those radios are not full duplex, but man, I mentioned full duplex in my club meeting, and they just like jumped all over me. You don't have to do that. What are you talking about? Full duplex? That's not necessary. Okay.
I got a 9700 that sits here and does nothing but local repeaters. I need to get to do something else.
Yeah,
I'm with you, brother. I have an 847 out in the shop. I did want to try it. I've tried it, and so far I've been unsuccessful. I have a very good disc cone that I put up out on my shop.
Yeah.
With the 847 is what's out there. And I have not, I think, and I was not drinking at the time, I think I heard a tracking signal last night on, I don't remember what bird it was. And I mean, it was so far down in the noise, I could have been freaking hallucinating. So I just don't know that the disc cone is going to work that well for it. I was hoping, because man, buying a decent satellite antenna is
expensive.
For doing a base station satellite setup is pricey.
Egg beater or something else. We got a couple guys that build the tracking systems, and they've got it set up. A couple of 2 or 3 Yagis, and man, they track and everything else. It's all Arduino based or Raspberry Pi based. And those guys are way smarter than I am.
What'd you do on the 9700? What'd you do for frequency drift?
I haven't done anything with it yet.
It's so
just
Don, I
here.
use Ham Radio Deluxe in satellite mode, and it manages the Doppler shift automatically.
Right.
On the fly.
But then you have to worry about frequency drift on the radio. You know that, right?
No. What are you talking about, Willis?
That's why you have you look on the back of it, it's got a GPS DO input.
Oh, yeah.
Megahertz.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with the 9700 that the Flex radio doesn't have
What was that, Don?
is that it actually controls the TXCO. So the the 9700 doesn't connect to the TXCO, so it doesn't actually discipline the crystal. It tries to discipline the radio, and it doesn't work very well, which is why they sell a separate device that connects in and controls the crystal. I think it replaces the crystal.
I have not done it on my 9700 yet. I've done it on the 847 that's out in the shop.
Oh, you put a GPS DO on it?
No, there's no hookup for that on the 847 at all. Not that I remember seeing.
Yeah.
So Don, you're running off the transverters off the flex.
I've got a 6600 that does full duplex, and then the flex. There's two ways you can pay $700 for an add-in card, or there's literally a 10 megahertz reference that comes into the back of it.
Yep.
And since I'm in the industry that I'm in, I deal with GPS DOs quite often, and so I've got a couple of them around here. Plus, they're not that hard to get a hold of anymore. They're about $100. They're not expensive like they used to be.
Yeah, I had the Flex 6400, and I play around a little bit with the transfer.
Jody, that's the thing. The Flex doesn't require an extra box.
Yep.
So that box that he's talking about, that's the thing that you hook up to the TXCO connection.
No, that's a separate box that bypasses the deal, but it provides an output so that you can connect a GPS DO.
Okay.
So I don't know if it has it may be that all you have to do on that is add a GPS antenna on it. I don't know.
On the 90,
I read about it briefly in the manual, and then I forgot. So I haven't gotten that far with this radio yet. I've used it for 2 meter 440 and D-Star, and I've managed to hit a 1.2 gig repeater in town. So that was kind of cool. I thought I was fancy when I did that.
What I don't understand is why don't they provide on that radio? Why don't they go ahead and give you 900 megahertz too?
Or get rid of the 1.2 220 900.
I mean, for the cost of that radio, I'd put all those bands in it.
Yeah,
from 144 all the way up to 1.2 gig, every single ham band in there.
What radios even work on 900? I cannot think of one. I don't know
Kenwood. There's our club is real big into 900 megahertz. Don't ask me why. And I have a link. So the TK, I believe there's a TK 941 and 981, and I've forgotten now. I'd have to look back at my club president's email. But there's one of those that you don't want, and then there's one of them that you do. But those are Kenwood radios that come up on eBay all the time, and they're easily converted onto the ham bands. In fact, I think all you have to do is program it. And the programming software on the Kenwoods is free. So, but by the way, I've got this page where he sent me to basically tells you all the information you want to know about it. I'm going to post it in here because I don't have that privilege here. But if y'all want to post it, that's the website where they talk about all those different types of radios and how you modify them to go on the ham bands. But the thing is, we have 900 megahertz repeaters here, and the 900 megahertz repeaters, I didn't know this. They're on All-Star. So I went on All-Star and fired one of them up, and all of a sudden I'm talking to some guy in California because they're basically all linked.
Dusty, see you, buddy.
One big network all over the U.S. So
we don't have, to my knowledge, any GMRS repeaters, no NXDN, no P25. Well, not civilian P25. We have one D-Star, one DMR, and one Fusion. And that about covers it locally. They might have more up in Birmingham, but not down here.
No, we got a crap load of GMRS and 2 meter 440 DMR, all of it all around us down here.
Man, I would love a GMRS repeater around here because I'd put in a base station here at the house for the old lady. And then she'd look at me and go, "I have a cell phone, ding dong."
Yeah.
That's nice.
Well,
And we've got a company
Jim-
called
Jim
Fleet
just
Talk
get-
down here that puts up a bunch of repeaters. So they've got
Just
a network DMRS.
Just get a couple of KG 1000s and hook them together. You got a repeater right there.
Yeah. There you go.
Of course,
Don, what is this? What is this link you posted? Oh, the Kenwood stuff.
That's the Kenwood stuff to the 900 megahertz radios, and how basically after you've bought the radio, this is a site you go to and it tells you everything you need to know about how to reprogram the radio or whatever it is it takes to get it on from the commercial frequency onto the 900 megahertz. And I cannot remember. My club president sent me an email and said, "Oh, you need," because somebody in Discord asked me about it, or was asking about it, and Josh didn't know, but I knew the guys in the club did. So let me see.
Okay, so I'm going to bail. I appreciate you letting me come on. It was a lot of fun. You guys all have
Oh, John, no worries, man. You're welcome. Well, hell, we've been going almost 2 hours now, and
yeah, I hear the folks downstairs. I've got some company in town, so they're all kind of, where the hell's he at, kind of thing. So I better go
you
back.
Should stay.
Yeah, well, and the beer's empty, so we need to go do another one of those. But you guys have a good rest of the weekend. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks again, guys. It was great. My pleasure.
John,
thanks, John. See you later.
Have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And so it's the 981 that you want. Don't get the 941.
I bought one Kenwood, and I don't remember now which one it was. That was not it. And I got it here, and I was so excited because I had a Kenwood, and it didn't work. It put out 0 power across the band. And I emailed the dude and said, "Dude, this puts out no power." "Well, it worked fine when I had it and shipped it." "Well, you're going to get it back. Because I'm not buying a project radio."
Yeah, Josh was talking about and I
see you, Cobain.
Really believe
Cobain,
this.
bye.
I mean, those Kenwood radios, or the Kenwood, like the 72 and 74, are probably the best handheld that anybody's really ever made. I don't know that he went that far, but they really are, with all the capabilities, the D-Star and the APRS and all of the
DPRS, Don.
DPRS.
No, not APRS.
Kenwood does full APRS.
And it had Bluetooth.
I've got a D74. And it
Built
is
in
an
TNC.
awesome radio.
Hey, should we get out our 705s and do some DPRS?
On a Nuggets episode, we can do that.
How about no?
How about
2.5 hour stream.
I'll tell you what, though, Tio, that stream that
Andy,
you and
take care,
Jim
brother.
did the other day.
What did we do?
Was
Locked
it
down.
just? Well, of course it was good. It got me back using my DMR radio. When and I've said this a couple times now. When you guys did that, DMR just a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
I didn't know
that
there
was
was like a
week 4
Toes
last.
Discord talk group.
Where you're
And now, like, I've talked on it a few times.
Outstanding.
People are just coming out, and it's not like
It's
not like the
super busy.
worldwide groups where
Right.
everyone's like, "Hey, it's it's 78 degrees here in Houston, Texas," and blah blah. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
The
then
Toads
they're
are
not-
a special group.
Yeah, like you just have a conversation, and it's been great.
We
So,
got
like,
we got a couple guys who get on their way to work in the morning early.
yeah, I don't do early anymore.
Yeah, no, son, this isn't early. This is early.
3 a.m. early.
It's just before the coffee is brewing.
Yeah,
Would one of those
Wawa's out
be
of coffee
Ben?
when they're going to work, so they get on there pretty early. And yeah, we've had that going for I don't know what, Steve, 6 months now, maybe.
At least, yeah.
I'll
So-
tell
and
you
it-
what, though, it's such a cool talk group.
Cool.
Like it's I've been enjoying it. I've had it on.
Excellent.
Like it is on this radio and that talk hotspot. I got 2 other hotspots, but one's just like it's on Toads. So it's been cool. I've been enjoying just listening to people have their conversations. Just it's our little community is really why I like it. Is because
Right.
we're all, like nobody knows about it but us, but we're all here to help one another and just BS, so that's cool.
What's the talk group number, Jim?
The DMR group number is 319-2083. The Fusion group is 55295.
I'm gonna need to get into Fusion.
And the shit, son, Fusion is easy.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give the rest of the group numbers.
And D-Star is 546 Alpha.
So this is a cross mode group,
Yeah.
is
Yes,
that?
sir.
So if
Yes.
you have a DMR radio, your talk group is 319-2083. If you're on D-Star, your reflector is
55295.
55295. And if you're on Fusion, your
546A. Oh, Fusion?
546A.
No. Fusion D-Star. I'm sorry. D-Star is 546A. And Fusion is 55295. Yes, and they're all interlinked.
So if you talk in on D-Star, it'll go out on DMR.
Is that running off of K8TSG and 86DM's?
No.
No, you guys did that on your own.
No,
Yeah,
we've got our own server. But Dennis helped.
But I mean, like how he.
I started with his directions.
Yeah.
They were kind of old, and he admitted to me, man, those are way out of date.
Yeah, well, I mean,
But
they
we
did
have-
the groundwork.
Yes, he did.
Right.
Yeah,
We
okay.
have
The shoulders of giants.
Yeah.
we have the DMR Fusion part is in DigitalOcean in the cloud, soon to be migrated to a secure data facility. And the D-Star piece is in the secure data facility, which is my shop out in the back. So right now,
I don't know what
it's
any of that means, but we can all talk together.
well,
Yes.
the servers, the DMR and the Fusion server are in the cloud on the internet somewhere
It's
else.
all on the internet.
Right. And
The cloud just
D-Star
means
piece
somebody
is
else's
here.
computer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah, we've had that running, I don't know, 6-8 months probably.
Yeah, about that.
So
Good. Well, I'm happy to be there.
well,
We're
and we're
happy to
happy to
have
have
you,
you.
Yeah.
It's not super busy. It's not like getting on America Link or
Well, that's the thing. Like
You
somebody
know, or
literally just keyed up. on
30
those.
Charlie.
But you
Yeah.
like sometimes you'll hear people key up and then nobody will come back to them, like right now.
Right.
But usually
All
somebody's
100 of
come
us.
back, and like I hear Steve come back every now and again. It's like
Yep.
he's there, he's watching. It's his freaking.
It's really the
He's
Steve.
King Toad, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm
it's
the
cool.
TO and Toad.
Cool. It's cool. Yeah,
Ape's
you are.
never
He literally
there,
is the TO and Toad.
If Ape is there, it's going to be because he's running as K-Toads.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want anybody to know his government name's Walter Sobchak. So
I wonder what happens if you key up into the Toads talk group using the Toads private ID.
it'll
I'm
work.
sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
It'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should work because I used the JerryNet. I had Dennis's like personal ID as JerryNet, and it still worked. Because if you want DMR broken, I'm your guy. I'm a little better at it now, but yeah, we messed some things up back in the day.
DMR, it's interesting. DMR seems to be the big thing amongst Toads for the most part. If I had to say who has what digital mode the most, it's going to be DMR for almost everybody. There's a few D stars floating around out there. I'm a Fusion weirdo, at least in my truck.
I bet there's a lot of people that have D-Star and have never turned it on.
Well, hell,
Yeah.
you got to have a degree in rocket engineering and brain surgery to get the crap working.
No, that's not true.
It's not that bad.
I have neither of those, and I've done it. So
Yeah.
Well, me neither.
I've been a
But
few nets.
when you compare,
DMR is it. Listen, I have all three now. DMR is by far the hardest one to use.
yes,
It is. It is.
The
I agree.
reason it is so big is because all of the radios are from
XLS,
what country?
Mhm.
China.
China. So they
Yeah.
release a new radio like every 3-4 days.
Mm-hmm.
I think PiStar did a lot to make DMR popular.
Yeah.
I don't think you can really, it's what's interesting. It's called digital mobile radio, but I don't think many people can use it mobile without a hotspot in the car running off
No.
their
Yeah.
cellular phone.
No, there's not enough repeaters. But for what it was designed for,
Yeah.
yes.
Right.
Well, even then, a lot of the repeaters are restricted to certain talk groups, and those are
Yeah.
not, if you want to get on K-Toads, I mean,
Are you locked out of K-Toads from there, Don?
Yeah, ask Jason, because if he'll add it, then maybe. But Jason is
the gatekeeper.
Yes, because all of the guys around here are Seabridge, and they start with Jason.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and usually it's like 5 talk groups, and that's it.
We have, I don't know if Sam's still in the chat. I don't use the repeater locally because I have an open spot that rides around in my truck with me, and it just connects to the truck internet, and that's how I roll. But I think Sam said our local one would not get on Toads. I don't remember. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but
Well, yeah, a lot of guys will put. Can't they lock down like what?
Yeah.
Repeater
Some
owner.
way. I don't know how.
I don't
5 or
understand why
6.
you would not have a hotspot.
Right? I'm all
Like
about hotspotting.
Well,
I mean,
because I don't want to run my phone in the car. Really, that's why I don't do it.
you don't want to run your phone in your
No,
car?
I don't want to put I
Or
don't want to set
internet
up a
connectivity
hotspot.
for the hotspot.
Yeah, internet
Why?
hotspot in the phone. Because it's, I mean, I don't have one of those all-inclusive plan things.
Don works
Neither
for the
do
phone
I,
company.
buddy.
He knows what's wrong with 5G.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
DM when you link if you take like just a PiStar, an
Mhm.
MMDVM on a Pi Zero, right?
Well,
And you tether it to your phone's internet connection and do DMR over that, it uses some, but not a lot. Very, very little. Very little.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the codec is, Don, but I can't imagine it's any bigger than a VoIP codec. It's got to be smaller. It's got to be way smaller than a VoIP codec, than like G729, something like that.
Yeah, G728's better.
Yeah, we don't.
You just
we don't,
made
we
that
don't
up.
use either one of those. So. But
Actually, isn't it 712?
There's multiple codecs.
220, 221, whatever it takes.
and
There's
I'm
multiple
also
codecs. That's a common one. I don't know all of them.
Are you,
That's the
are
one
you
we
channeling
use.
Jason, Mike?
Which
That's
Jason?
the one we use at work.
KC5HWB Jason.
No.
Well, for the record,
Why?
I hate
Because of
phones.
DMR? Because he's
No,
because of
because you were just
DMR?
making up numbers like you were an authority. I'm teasing Jason.
Oh no! But if we can tease Jason, let's keep doing it.
Yeah.
I would Ron if I could get one.
Uh-oh.
A flip phone?
Yeah, they wouldn't allow it at work. You know those IT security people in their two-factor authentication.
Stop it.
I don't want to do two-factor
Don,
authentication.
you are the reason there is IT security. It's guys like you sketchy son of a gun.
Well,
Duo, baby.
I know how to get my job done without by working around it. But
I don't have to work around it. I just make up the firewall rules, and it all allows me to surf Facebook and other things.
You don't release a product on where security is a concern.
I used to.
We do, and what we have to do is like IT security on steroids. So we control a lot of what we do in the lab, and it's way beyond what they necessarily do, and just because we have to. Otherwise, your phone call could be heard by lots of people if we didn't.
Well, I used to listen to my phone calls, your phone calls too.
Mm-hmm. But that was because we made it possible. Anyway,
Really?
Well, yeah, we have to legally, whenever we're creating a system, we have to put in law enforcement access, LEA.
What is that? What is that called? Kalia? Is that
Kalia.
it? Kalia?
Yeah, Kalia. And that's basically their ability to tap any phone call at any time.
We lost Mike.
Well, he's probably refreshing.
Yeah, I don't blame him for being bored. This stuff's not ham radio.
Fellas, I got to get rolling. It's been fantastic
Yeah.
spending Thanksgiving with y'all.
Mhm.
Appreciate
I think we should roll it in and wrap it up.
each and every one of you is awesome.
Mm-hmm. And Mike,
we will be
long time, damn it.
We will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m.
10 a.m. for me. I got a new radio to unbox.
Yeah.
10 a.m. on Steve's channel for the
Some of us have to go to
unboxing.
work.
Yeah.
Not me.
True that.
Yeah, real quick before he goes, Mike, the thing that you shipped me, they supposedly were delivering it today, which is like,
that's not going to happen.
No, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, tomorrow, Friday. Dave.
Well, anytime they say it's out for delivery, and then the next day it's like, we're not able to locate. But anyway, I'm not.
If you download,
I'm not
the
that
app
worried
from
about it. I know I'll
company
get it.
and authorize the delivery of it. But no, you're definitely not getting it today. I promise you that. If I had a soul, I would bet it.
No,
He would swear a holy oath on that.
The only reason is I haven't been home all day, and it has been pouring down rain here.
Yeah, it hasn't been pouring here. It's just been raining enough to make it suck. Can I give a quick, really quick?
Hit it, son.
Tomorrow, 3:20 p.m. Central Time, we're giving away a Redivis DMR radio. We were just talking about DMR.
Nice.
And then tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central, separate live stream, we're giving away 5 NFED half-wave antennas.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So
excellent.
Be sure to check into what's my channel, KMRD Radio stuff.
I don't. It's that guy on it with the hot forehead. That guy.
Yeah. He did something for POTA. I don't know.
So 3:20 is an oddly specific time.
Well, I have a video coming out at 3 o'clock Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Central. I release videos.
Oh, okay.
This Friday, tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central, I'm releasing a video on this really crappy Chinese lithium iron phosphate battery. So we tear it apart. We look at the cells. We look at how gross they are.
Oh, I can't wait.
Then
for that.
we go to my friend's farm and we destroy them 4 different ways.
I hope one of the ways is gunfire.
Do you know me?
Right.
One of the ways is definitely gunfire.
I figured it had to be. You're from Texas, son.
Oh no, I'm not from Texas.
I know that.
I'm just from a gun-loving family.
You're from a gun-loving family. That's right.
That's all that matters. But yes, we definitely guns are involved. So
excellent.
That's what's going on. What? My neighbor's sitting here off camera. I think he's trying to get me to do illegal substances. So I'm gonna wrap it up.
See you, Mike. Thanks for stopping by.
Mike,
no, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna make him wait.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, we're wrapping up anyway. So
T.O. and I guess I will probably be here at 10 in the morning for T.O.'s radio unboxing.
Yeah, it's a Redivis radio also, and we're gonna tear it apart and see what trouble we can get into, and then we're gonna do a Black Friday deal show on Coffee and Ham Radio's channel tomorrow.
And we have at least
10
one giveaway during that 11 a.m. stream.
11 a.m. and then Jason at 12:30.
12:30.
And then Mike at 3:20 and at 4.
Correct.
3:20
at 4. Just called it Ham Friday instead of Black Friday.
And 4.
Then happy hour after that. Right.
Happy hour
at 7.
Radio 2.0.
Right.
So all those times were in
8,
Central.
Yeah.
Those are all Central times for those of you that are keeping score.
All ham radio happens in Central Time.
It does.
Absolutely.
Coordinated. Central Time coordinated. CTC.
Yeah.
Folks, I'm hitting the end button.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Don.
Just as a reminder, if you want a really high quality hand-built battery box, Mike's your guy.
Oh.
What? Because Big Geek is on sale at k8mrd.square.site?
Square.
Right.
Think about that, man.
Can I help you get a real domain name, buddy? Because I'd be glad to help you set that up.
Well, yours is the same site.
You're giving me enough
I
credit
don't
to
give you
assume
that
I would
site.
know what to do
Ape
with.
does that because he's unconscious.
Let me build the battery boxes and put them
it's
on the internet.
coffeeandhamradios.com. Well, we can give you a real domain name if you need help with that. It's my jam.
K8mrd.com exists as well.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Folks, I'm hitting the button. Thank you very much for being here.
Guys, thank you all.
Thanks.
Happy
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
appreciate it.
Hail
John.
Satan.
73.